Okay, maybe no drop frames now. It's saying no drop frames to when I connect to Germany. It's okay. Okay, it's looking good. All right, I think we're online. All right, I think I want to keep it like this then. No drop frames. I don't know. I try like the first top 4 servers in the connection list, and all of them are giving me packet loss. But this one is good. There we go. All right, then I'm just gonna leave it like that and just wait for everyone to join up. Still a lot of teams left actually. Let's just wait a second, a little bit longer. And also might be being joined by a Zikarik as well potentially, which would be amazing because he's like one of my favorite casters. I don't know. He has such a like laid back yet methodical approach to casting. I think I normally do like the play by plays relatively often, but his analytical approach is really intriguing. And it's just I think I can do it, but I don't know. It's just his calm yet calculated demeanor. Just I don't know. It's very like nice to listen to. So hopefully I'll be joined by him soon. We've only got about 5 minutes left to go. I think some teams are just still left in the warm up phase, and we are in for a 6-game banger as well. So. Nice stuff. All right, people are starting to join up now. We are getting ready. And just as a quick update, obviously as the stream was a bit choppy and we had to watch it through various sources. You may have watched the first 2 games through my stream, which was obviously choppy, and then Sprocaine stream, which was hopefully a bit better. The winners for all the games and the people who made it through are just bringing up that list real quick. So we're getting BBB, Pop, NTU, FBI, and LPL. So those teams made it through quals, and we obviously had the other 6 teams that kind of pre-qualified. Maybe probably the big stinker here was TC, but we know that Mekimek was not there. He's kind of one of their star players. Unfortunately, couldn't make it, I guess, for this tournament, so they had to get Kalskin, and the synergy can not always formulate in the same sort of way it does, with that different player in there. So that is very unfortunate for them, but I'm pretty sure they'll call in the next one. It's just one of those things, right? You sometimes have a bad day, and it just goes like that. And I think I am joined. Oh, he's just jumped out for a second. I think he's going to join it in a bit. I think he might maybe just get prepping himself up. But Zikarik should be joining me very, very shortly. Yo, how you doing, dude? I can't hear at the moment, but
Hello?
I'll let. Oh, there
Can you
you
hear
go.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's good? Yeah, I couldn't hear you either. My sound was messed up because I switched PCs, but what's
Oh,
good?
all good, all good. Yeah, man, I'm excited to cast these 6 games with you, man. It's going to be flipping intense. I reckon the calls are really good, so
Oh
these
yeah.
should be even better.
Did you end up watching the qualifiers?
I was casting them, but I had some
Oh,
temporary internet issues, so I casted 2 of the games, and then Sprocaine thankfully lended his own stream to like cast. So I casted through Discord and screen shared it sort of through his stream. But I think all my internet issues are like resolved now, so it should be good.
nice. Okay, cool. No worries. Are you do you have a stream? Are you live streaming?
Yes, I'll just post the link to
I
you. One
don't think
second.
I have your Twitch link.
No props. Just gonna link it.
Pull it up on my phone.
Boom, there you go.
Dude, can you do me like I'm so like out of the loop coming into this? Can you fill me in on like what the format was and like what happened in qualifiers?
Sure. So it was just 4 standard qualifiers. Are you thinking of like storm shifts or like how points are calculated or?
Just kind of the whole thing, yeah. Like it was 4 game qualifier,
Yeah,
and
and six
I
game
saw the
finals.
format was like death trial by combat or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a fancy name. It was just kind of normal
Okay,
Supervive. There's no extra modifiers or anything
okay, okay,
insane like
okay.
that. Um, but yeah. So yeah, for sorry, 6 people, 6 teams qualified. So I'll just link you the info in that respect. Just a second. There you go. So there's the top 6 teams there qualified, and there's the points as well.
Wait, thank you.
No worries. Oh, thanks for the follow, dude. I
Oh,
just
of
need
course,
to.
man. I didn't know you had a stream and that you were. I Sprocaine told me that you were getting more into casting,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
didn't know you were like streaming it and stuff. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. I've been doing it for about 2 or 3 months now. I've just been casting scrims mostly, and a couple of tournaments here and there. But
Let's go. That's how I started back in like November. There was literally no one casting scrims. I was just like, can I cast these?
right, right. Found that perfect opportunity, man. Good stuff.
Dude,
Where
it'd
is
be
it?
so insane to get to like cast some events when this shit kicks off in a bit
Oh,
here.
yeah, it'd be amazing, dude.
Like especially live events would be so like hype, like different
Oh,
kind of hype.
yeah, for sure. You feel a different type of energy, right, when you're in person.
I'm gonna go snag. I brewed up my coffee. I'm just gonna get my cup and then I'll be 100% ready. I'll be right
Yep. Well,
back.
yep. No probs. All right. So just waiting on one team member from SB. And oh, actually, AUR missing 2 members as well. So and hopefully, a Greninja connect. He can connect. He's the last one there now. And yeah, shit talk has already began between a couple of enemy teams here, rival teammates. Cheers, bro. Everything goes good for you, man. I think it should be smooth by the way, Spro. I I've I had to change the server again, in fact. but I've had no drop frames. Like I thought it was a router restart that sorted it. I tried like doing the Twitch test thingy, had no drop frames. Then I tried opening my stream with the with the official settings again, and it was scuffed again. But I've changed it to stream to Germany now, and it's chill. So. Oh, never mind, he's here. Oh, there we go.
Select your hunter.
We're getting unstable ports for game 1.
A little mayhem. You are the drop leader.
And just give me a shout, guys, if there's any like issues with the stream, just let me know. But hopefully it's smooth. Thanks, OC man. Yo, let's go Rex as well, man. I remember you used to play like ages ago, and now I think you've recently repicked up the game, right? You used to be like a Zeph player, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else, or maybe a KP player, or maybe that's Rakia. I've not seen that guy for a while. No, but there's both of you. I'm pretty sure you both have similar names, but I'm sure I remember seeing both of you guys play like maybe 4 or 5 months ago, quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm back, brother.
Yo, just back in time. We're just starting up game 1. We got unstable portals on the cards.
Let's go, baby. Just real
Yeah.
quick at the start here, bro, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. Do you want to do sort of like a color play-by-play split, or do you want to kind of trade back and forth? Like, what's your kind of preferred style?
I'm
here?
typically play-by-play most of the time, and I'm obviously happy to play, pass it to you when there's some sort of opportunity, like whenever. Happy to do that.
Yeah, if you want to kind of focus on play-by-play, I can kind of focus on color, and we can kind of toss back and forth like that.
Boom, yeah, sounds perfect to me. We're already seeing 3
Beautiful.
teams. Yep. We're seeing 3 teams in Qatar already, if I'm not mistaken. They're kind of splitting apart for the moment. We're seeing FBI and I think it's Shy, yep, going north side. Kind of split apart for the moment. One going Qatar, split farming. And aside from that, we're seeing a kind of regular drop patterns from most teams. 3LP actually going Entrine. That's actually unconventional for them, but we'll see how that one goes.
So as the real quick, as the noob coming into finals here off of the back of qualifiers, so we have, these are like set teams, right? This wasn't a draft or anything like that, because these are like standard.
Yeah,
like these are known teams at this point, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we're seeing
very good. I mean, this is going to be like this is because it was. There were 2 groups in the qualifiers, or were there 3? So it was 24 squads to start.
No, it was just 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, that dunk was crazy. DVB are now only a 2-man here. Yeah, there's only one set of 12 teams for the quals. Six teams were already kind of auto-qualled, I think, from like scrim placement.
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a full play, and it was like seeding. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're seeing Theo trying to make his way out here, but 3LP are on the chase. Oh, the hook does not connect. We'll see if Theo can make it out of this one. The dunk. Unfortunately, Theo gets down there.
Dude, so I've been seeing, I'm a little out of the loop on the EU scene too. I've been seeing like some Tom Kick streams of him assembling the super squad. How's that narrative been going?
I'm not sure where he's settled on at the moment. I don't know if their teams necessarily officially state who their team members are, but let me have a quick flick, because I think he was playing with NTU for a small period of time. Let me see where it is. Vizado. So Vizado, I think the final formation looks like this. So we've got Tom Kick, Clerney, and Orlando's. So Orlando's used to be like a Bieber player in the past. Clerney played with TRF not too long ago. And obviously Tom Kick, everyone knows who he's played with before, so no need to mention that.
I like that. I like that setup right there.
Yeah. So they got quite a wide hero roster as well, so should the meta change, then they're going to be able to adapt quite readily.
I saw Tom on the oath there. Is that something he's been doing recently too? 'Cause
Yeah,
that is not
yeah,
really
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's actually hitting those abyssal breakers too, man. He's choking some
Let's
people.
go.
Yeah,
It's crazy how just a couple weeks how much stuff can shift, bro. Because it's
Right.
literally like 3 weeks. I think like 3 weeks is the last time I was watching some EU stuff.
yeah. And the kind of disband has, well, because of Adamok has also left, so that means that Ori
Right.
is now with their team 29. So we can have a quick flick over at them. So that's
I
Ori.
think I don't know for sure, but I think Adamark is playing in the squad scrim in NA tonight, bro. Because it's
okay.
squads.
I got you.
Just because
Yeah,
it's squads.
he's who's he with? If you didn't mind me asking, I'm not sure who he's formed the team with.
Dude, I would love to see him, kind of like, I don't know what his grand plans are, but like make a return for 1.0 because
Oh,
just
I
like
think
such a fun player to watch and such a just like a good personality for the community. Like anyone that's met Adamark and just talked to him for a couple minutes, you're like, dude, this guy is
Yeah,
we need
he's
this guy.
Yeah, he's so chill, and he's like, yeah, so mechanically gifted too. Like, holy, the guy's a beast on
right.
the oath.
For sure.
And I think towards the end of when he was playing still with TTV, he was finally relinquished from the oath prison for a while, and we saw him on the Felix as well, which is one of his like OG characters. So,
When I think of Adamark, I think of the Fox. Like he is fantastic on the Felix. I've always loved watching him play that.
Too right. With the sense, no, it's fine actually. As Shive actually just rotating up 29, kind of forcing them away for the moment. They got scale on Yasser as well, which is a really nice pickup, and the E-plat too. 2 E-plats actually. Interesting.
It's like pretty gonna be interesting to see. I'm really curious to see like because there's been a couple days of scrims, but we've basically been watching trios for the last few months, and tonight and tomorrow night there's this squads like tournament happening in NA. I'm like really curious to see how kind of different the meta shift is. Dude, one thing I will say is the difference between the EU Abyssal Cup that happened, what was that, like 6 weeks ago or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the NA Abyssal Cup that happened like 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, the EU one was so good, man. Like the NA one was good, but the EU one, like there was 36 instead of 24 teams, so you had the bigger group stage, right?
Right.
And dude, I feel like that made the last lobby just so competitive, and also I feel like the groups themselves, like each group was more competitive than the NA groups, where the NA groups, there was like some strong contenders, but they kind of just like roll their lobby. Ooh, Shin looking gets caught out there by R.
Oh, that was a bad way to get caught out there. I think AO are going to chase this one out, and I totally agree with you. Having more teams, for the quals, it just everyone is like really intensely warmed up by that time, so they're raring to go by the time you're in the finals. If any teams make it that far. And you do get the cream of the crop by that point typically as well, and also you get some upsets, right? It makes for a better story on average.
For sure, absolutely.
We're seeing a Tom with the hammer exchanges against Blackrog. I think Blackrog was away for the last scrim block, so it's nice to see him back in the game again. The tree combo does not connect. Tom does manage to make it away narrowly there. Nice.
Blackrog, one of these players that just like is cracked mechanically. Like every time I pull up his stream, he's like. In any second of down to him, he's like pulling up Osu. Like he's just like that dude is just like on the freaking mechanics train anytime I see him playing. But it's like it's awesome to see him back. I didn't know he had stepped away for a sec.
Oh yeah, it was just I think he was doing like a land fight with some like IRL friends. I think that was the
gotcha,
but typically he plays like every scrim block he can, but TRF just didn't play that week, and then I found out that info. But yeah, it's good to see him back. It's only been in 1 week, but I typically see because it's such a small community, right? You miss.
It's like just 3 weeks and everything's completely different. I'm like,
right.
There.
Oh, the double slam exchange, but Revo actually wins that one. Fate Reminder on Aiden as well, which is very spicy. Atomic's 1 HP at the same time. Overcurrent's come out, and the hook comes in, guaranteeing that kill likely on Revel. Revel's down now. LPL are now just a 2-man. So what's your kind of win prediction? Like, who do you think is going to win out of these 12 teams we've got so far?
So are the Red Frogs in here? Oh yeah, they're at the bottom. I always just like they're just like my favorite like wild card team to watch. I love how they just like ship it and it either goes awesome or it just like nosedives and goes terribly.
You're so correct with that assessment. I feel like they either just send it. It's like it looks like the cleanest execution of a fight you could ever see, or it's just one person dies and the other two just kind of collapse somehow, and it's.
But it's like that kind of playstyle, dude, is always so fun to watch, like from just the an entertainment perspective, because like that's where the craziest plays end up happening. Like without shipping it, you don't get like those. But then like the price of that is Theo lurking here. Oh, nice by Fluffy Fish. Like Bright Shield just barely in time there.
Right. We've seen a lot of players, the Oath is still semi-prevalent in the meta, compared to, because of the nerfs and things of that nature and the meta shift overall. Like, we're not seeing as many Oaths. It used to be like an 80% pick rate before, and now we're like 50% or sub 50%. So the KPs are having a bit more of a field day compared to how they used to.
Do you think they're going to be adjusting anything with it? Oh, downtown shift back grab by Accolades.
Oh, does manage to get back to his team. And, we know that throw up here also like to send it. And here we go, grappling slam.
Oh,
Vortex charm.
Beautiful by Aiden.
Epic around as well. Oh, Acklings is 1 HP, but Kazara still gets down there. Theo last alive. And he's got to hopefully dance onto that mini island, potentially for a res. We're seeing AOR also taking those kind of crystals for the phase 1 of the soul there. And, it looks like he's going to get this one off. The circle's still pretty wide, so he's got a lot of opportunities to rotate around him and his team, hopefully, if they get back up here. We're seeing Soul Stealer on Kalangi as well, which is a nice pickup. Nice RNG roll there. And aside from that...
a good grapple slam like that just looks so clean. It just happens so fast.
Yeah, every time. And I think one of those weird things, like with the physics system, you sometimes see like KP just yoink themselves to Narnia. If they just misfire it slightly.
That's another one of those things where it either looks epic or it looks terrible.
Right. Looks like AUR are going to take this one for free. Nice stuff. And 29 have taken the other spoil respectively. Kazara gets down in that meanwhile as well. And we've seen Red J on Beruf, which is going to potentially be instrumental in those later circles. If one of the team members gets downed, getting that res opportunity, that fast one is really good. Now Shy now playing pressure onto FBI here. Actually sending it in with the punch. Can he do much more here? Should be fine. A couple of autos sent either way. But FBI are likely to get away with this one. As we saw before, there's double E-plats.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the action here. How has the Shy's been looking? Sprocaine pumping on the sauce. Oh, huge by Hachi punches Lingo back in.
Oh no! Lingo gets down at the same time though. Oh my god, it's an absolute clusterfuck here. We'll see if any team can recuperate fully here. Lingo gets downed. And sorry, what were you saying before?
I just when I had the like it was like literally like 3-4 weeks ago, the Shy's had like just formed up.
Right.
I think I watched like one game. I think it was literally their first match. They were like playing together.
Yeah.
Oh, and Niza's back in too. Let's fucking go, bro.
Yeah, he's been away for that long. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he's. I think he's been recruited by Treadsy from what I've overheard. And
dude, the Red Frogs is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's like a god squad almost. You'd hate to lose any of those team members. We're seeing 45 seconds on this most wanted. He's hiding in that little kind of minuscule pocket there. And Aiden finds Ori at the same time, so 29 are down 1 at the moment. They cannot use that Red GA with any effect, unfortunately. They've been forced off the box at the moment. And
that's kind of crazy. We're 10 in, still 12 squads. It's about to be super crowded down here.
Yeah, a lot of teams are playing way more reserved in comparison to scrims. We see in scrims, it feels like a lot of teams kind of just full send. And now we're seeing a kind of a bit more of a methodical play, I would argue. Which is what you'd expect for in a tourney setting, which is good.
And that's like something where we saw it was like a big conversation at the beginning of the shift from squads to trios, but like this idea of having like at least one player committed to the anchor. Oh, Shin pumping so much damage holding that ledge. Gonna force LP completely off here.
Oh, Revel gets the one exchange though, the 1 HP. Atomics, can he live this one? Oh, he gets down though. Yui with 1 minute 30 left on his most wanted crown there as well.
This idea of anchoring, right? Dude, it's this constant action here. Aiden forcing the slam over the top is going to catch Spider Brawl there.
And LPL get taken out last place there, unfortunately. They were one of the teams that made it through to quals. We'll see if NTU can stabilize here. It should be good for now. Shin is still down on the side of SB as well, and Spider Brawl is also down, as we just saw, taken out by 29. Sprocaine finds Depbrek, so let's have a quick look and see how that one transpired. Just grabbing up the shard and things of that nature. 29 are back now as a full 3-man. We're seeing an Orb of Life in about 40 seconds. We're going to flick over to the left-hand side. We're seeing orange and green here going at it. B&BB.
Ooh.
Oh, the hook. Oh, narrowly misses from Theo there.
Man, Acklink's literally won. Theo's so close to getting that grab through. It looks like they're going to continue the pressure up. Shrikebird out, getting a little vision. 3LP just recovering. on the fire here, no problem. But
Right.
what I was gonna say earlier is this idea of anchoring, bro, where you have at least one player just sort of committed to the anchor, where you know, like if you're looking for an engage, like one player is looking for the way out off the start. Speaking of engage, Aiden and Akalinks find their way in, get another grab connect through off the back of that grenade. So 3LP on a roll here, Symeri.
Yeah, they're going to probably take like Kazura as well. He's also down. It's just Theo last alive now for Pop. So he's going to have to just play on this small, minuscule edge there, and he should be okay for the moment. The Zempel is going towards the right as well, so a lot of teams are going to have to rotate in that direction. And who's going to take this Orb of Life? The hook back. It looks like 29 take that one. We see the Res Beacon still up for grabs. And one Orb as well. Oh, here you are with a nice free exchange there.
Yeah,
All things considered. Yeah, they'll take that, right? And then you get out of there, 11th place. Holy.
And so we see both souls on the map right there, Shrapnel and Damage Soul kind of facing it off. And with BBB moving in on the north, Sprocaine just going off on the Saros here. Gets another snipe through onto Geppo. Stormbreakers eliminated.
Yep, so we're seeing from the side of Shy that they typically like to play that kind of E-flat play where they kind of play on the edge, and as soon as they see like a noise marker, they'll just start to like, you know, kind of pounce on a team, try and get a couple of KP, and then go back to the their E-flat sort of thing. And they're definitely doing that sort of strat again. It's kind of the safest one, I would argue, especially in these final points, that, you know, final games, sorry, to get these points here. And Boolean gets down as well. Kalangi last alive. The grappling doesn't connect. Oh, but Aiden has connected his Slugwave as well. Oh no, BBB get outed, 8th place there, and Jaden gets outed.
Wow, FBI at the same time, yeah.
Right.
Both just get caught there. Huge tree money tree by Niza there to lock in that second one.
Yeah.
I love that's one of my favorite power combos, dude. And it's like it was underrated for so long, but now I've been seeing more and more people rock it. But like guys like Aiden and Niza, some of the first ones to rock that combo.
Oh, the rewind hook slam! Oh my god, that was cinema. What? I'm getting down 2. Orlando's last alive. He's got gliders, but he gets spiked. He glides for fun. But he said he'll get outed 6th place.
Did I just watch? What was that grab, bro?
He grappled and fate rewinded. Oh my god, the tech. Oh, I felt illegal that he got away with that one. Oh my god.
It looked like there was even something else that happened in there. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. He might have like grappled on top, you know, just to make it look, you know, unpredictable or something.
Because I've seen Aiden do that before, but that one looked extra. I don't know.
Damn.
But either way, 3LP just stomping here.
Yep, and they're able to get these armor repairs up, which are going to be really important for this late game as it shortly approaches. We're seeing a portal also in close proximity to 3LP. Where's it heading? It's going full north side as well. So, you know, Shy made their way back onto solid ground as well.
I love how, like, you know, we're coming in, like, it was literally at 10 minutes with 12 squads, bro. We're now just 5 minutes later, 5 squads.
Right. It's
just 7 squads just out in the series, like 3-4 minutes there.
It always just happens in the snap of a finger. You just see, like, all teams are just in close proximity and they just have to fight for that space, right? And it just causes them to fight. Or I guess in the case of 3LP, they just said, you know, we're just sending it on you guys. And they did manage to win that engage.
Good luck.
Yeah. Big engagement here. Oh, Kazara making it away, luckily. Oh, he's getting sent with the fan into TRF. And 1 free kill donated from that fan. And,
TRF just waiting on the other end of that fan.
Yeah, Theo, last alive. Can he dance around this one? He's sandwiched between two teams, but they normally goes north side.
Ooh.
Oh, he narrowly makes it away. Nice stuff for now when he's found a bit of space to play on, where he should be, you know, not being autoed by anyone, but how long is that going to last is the question.
Yeah, TRF coming up over around the top. Theo really going to have to find some kind of space here, look for an option. He has a Crown South, could look for a buy depending on how much money he has. Yeah, it does have that two-way
1.6k
teleporter
only
across as well. But yeah, there's just so many teams close by. Like, he really going to have to play the patience game here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think 3LP just want the KP potentially. They may just you know, continue to try and force Theo out here. And we'll see if that is the case. If they're going to rotate all the way around, they're just being very precautious though.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to get spiked by a stealth KP there, because he has that bushwhacker. And he does find a nice free armor
at the same time. Yeah, and 29 lurking to the north here with damage and shrapnel. So those souls getting kind of collapsed in through kills here. Now 29 actually looking real strong with this power soul setup, and actually good fire position, good circle position. 29 actually.
Oh, they find Theo as well at the same time, and yeah, as you mentioned, the double soul pickup, but Yui comes in with the slam, Abyssal Breaker, not even
really
needed.
Nice.
Theo gets down there, and a popper out 5th place. Yeah, as you're mentioning, yeah, really like nice the red GA, the blue armors, the double souls, double Samwall, like Ori has all of the defensive measures he could ever want, really.
And that's like what a great comp. Like it just looks like such a another grapple, huge shield by Blackrock there to cancel that.
Very perfectly timed there. Oh, he's fishing for a hook there, just narrowly missed. 3LP are now looking for another opportunity to get some space in. Hopefully, Aiden tries to slam, doesn't connect, and he's lost all his armor in the blink of an eye. And hopefully he can have a bonfire or something of that kind to kind of get the armor back, because another fight is not going to give him a lot of total effective HP.
Yeah, 3LP find themselves in a weird spot all of a sudden, bro. They were looking really good. They kind of made their way across the abyss right there, realized 29 was to the north as TRF recalls. Now all of a sudden 3LP kind of locked in, and they're okay. You know, they have their fire down, but it's not the best spot here, bro. Kind of pinned in.
Yeah,
Two squads just looking at you. And you mentioned the no armor situation. Certainly not going to help here, because you're coming up against full golds to the south and everyone fully up to the north in blue. So
and it's also there's double rain of arrows. It's just permanently preventing them from repairing as well. Right. Oh, they made away. Oh, the spike goes up. Roof.
Dude.
And, it looks like two people have been considered the sacrificial lamb here, and Aiden has made his way out in exchange for that. Picks up the crown. 1 minute 55 roughly. Let's see how we can dance around this one. Maybe he gets a random spike out of nowhere. He tries a bit of a hook tech with the grappling. Doesn't get any connection, unfortunately. And the dance continues for the moment. He's making his way around. Looks like Shy probably going to take this one. Yasha's now forcing it out. Oh, the portal at the last second. We rewinded actually back.
Oh, Aiden with the jukes. It's huge. Run a rewind. Perfectly timed as they portal through. Somehow finds all the space he wants down to the left here. Who knows how long it's going to last, because it looks like the Shy is continuing to hunt. But really nice look. I loved right before that, bro, the angle from Baroof up on the high ground on the right. Knows TRF is going to shift up to the north and just has that Abyssal Breaker waiting for him. Puts Aiden in the spot now where he has nowhere to go.
He's likely
just going to be dying to the storm. GG.
Gets a fourth
place. Like that, 3LP is out.
Yeah. It's decent, it's decent placement points, but I think they would have expected slightly better or wanted slightly better. It seems like 3LP had a kind of a disagreement between the kind of call, because you saw like Aiden kind of waiting here while the rest of his teammates went north, and as you saw, one of them just got spiked. I don't think that was the outcome they would have wanted.
I don't think they had intel on the oath on the high ground up to the right. Like Baroof just really heads up positioning to kind of read that movement. And 29, like out of nowhere, we hadn't really seen them fighting, but just off of the back of like that center position with the souls and a couple good looks, all of a sudden top 3 looking like, the team to beat here, basically.
Yep. I think they probably got a lot of like random miscellaneous kills as well as the game has progressed, and we're seeing Shy with Hachi with Delicate as well, so he can like maybe wander his way up once the stealth is enabled again, which it should be shortly. I know they have vision actually, never mind. So they're going to see him for the moment.
Yeah, I think the Red Frogs really want to try to push, everyone's trying to do this, but they really want to try to get the flank at 29 and kind of push him out of this like safe high ground spot into the arms of Shy. And like the Shy, like you said, I really love the Saros look from Sprocaine. I know not too many people kind of sticking with the Saros, but if you're looking to play that kind of edge of circle, which they're doing right now, bro, creeping up to the north, trying to put 29 in this pinch, but the grab!
Oh, nice scale there. Provides him with a bit more time, and the Rain of Arrows too. I'm not sure if Vyas is going to last much longer. He is to get downed, and TRF are now looking for a clean third here against 29. As they've used a couple of cooldowns and not fully killed Shy here. Yui with the slam, nicely shield bashed away. Baroof 1 HP, does get down there. Sprocaine takes one other kill. 29, Yui gets downed as well, aka Catgirl Cafe Manager. We're looking at Hachi with the most wanted pickup. 1 minute 40 left roughly. And Sprocaine and Hachi have now reunited finally.
They get the full trip double res through, so 29 back at full force just like that. The Ari stays alive, gets both up, but Blackrock, huge push out of the storm. Catgirl is down. It's just going to be the Ari left.
Yep, there is also a crown pickup if you realize it in time. Now he's actually sticking a res here. We'll see if he can get this one off. 8 seconds left roughly.
No way, Egos, there's no way.
Oh my god. He has glided, so he should be ever evasive.
Trace is going to die.
Ooh, the Dream trying to send it. They're pushing him through. Can they go up to the full north side?
Oh my.
Oh, he finds a little pocket of space to go on. Okay, TB's at the last second, goes through the wall. Rain of Arrows is not enough, unfortunately. They get outed. Looks like Shy going to take game 1. Oh, nice punch in, and it should be 1 kill on Blackrock, which should definitely be possible. 3 men against Blackrock here. Most wanted picked up at the last second. It's not enough, and Shy take game 1 there.
Man, that was so epic. They play that so well at the end, all 3 squads. In the end, I think that you kind of called it out earlier, the way Shy is kind of playing edge of circle, like they continue to do it in the final three, which is much harder to kind of pull that strategy off in final three, right? But we saw them just continuing to kind of hold that E-plat, the tiny abyss there was, they're E-platted up to the north. They're kind of refusing to get pinched, just playing it patiently. And I think we kind of saw there a little bit of TRF and the Shy looking up at 29 and being like, okay, this is the double soul team. These guys are looking pretty scary. Like maybe this is the team we want to try to pinch and then play from here. But I will say 29 played that really, really well for basically playing it in a 6v3, like both sides. The Ari somehow able to stay alive, able to phase walk, live, come back out, get the double wisp res, put his team in a place to where they maybe could do something, but that's instantly followed up on by the Blackrog, like shift, Oath Blast into the storm. So not really able to recover from that second, but just got to give it to 29. Really well fought and really, well played game for kind of coming out of nowhere in the end, being in the final three, looking so strong there.
Yeah, perfect assessment of how that game went down. Like Shy just knew exactly when to third, and they just calculated everything so perfectly there. They utilized powers, and Sprocaine managed to get that knock, the ever important knock on Beruf there, which meant that 29 really had to spend their time recuperating in that last fight, and they also in that instance gave Shy the chance for Hatchet to get the crown and then get everyone back up, and such a crazy
really well
dance.
Played, yeah, really well played by them. And then the way he looped around, get the crown, and they like reversed that fight. Actually, really well played by the Shy. Yeah,
good stuff. And obviously, I've not even spoke to you since these last couple of patches. So how are you feeling about this new patch? Like, what's your insights into
well,
in the NA scene at least? Has it changed anything or?
I pretty much always will make a video covering the patch, dude. And I had a bunch of shit going on this week, and I looked at this patch and I was like, dude, this shit is so long.
Yeah, it's quite a big one.
I was like, this video is gonna take me a day or longer, and but I was looking at it. I think it's some pretty good stuff in the end, and what I think is more than this stuff being ultra effective right now, they're basically litmus testing some of the most biggest, I don't want to say biggest changes, biggest balance stuff that is likely going to be sticking with 1.0, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're time's kind of flying by. We're creeping up closer and closer to that 1.0 kind of launch deadline. And then so I basically think since they said they were putting their heads down to go 1.0 mode a month ago or whatever, any change we're basically seeing from now until 1.0, we have to think about in the context of the purpose of it being implemented now is to simply test it for the 1.0 changes. And so we don't quite have the full picture is kind of the main point I want to make with the patch is I think there's definitely some good stuff in there, but at the same time, there may be some things that they're looking to sort of litmus test that might not make quite as much sense without the full picture of what's coming at 1.0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there might be some new features coming out that can kind of twist how the game can be played, or how power can be acquired, for example.
For sure, exactly. And probably an easy example is the deathmatch mode, right? Where it's this idea of having kind of a warm-up mode in between queues, that doubling also as a way for players to improve mechanically and kind of bridge the gap for new players. Hacklink's just not letting them get away there. No. 3LP is just angry today.
They just held the pressure up,
running people down.
Yeah, they got 2 kills for that one. Oh, nice couple of free kill points there in the early game. Now we're seeing a potential engagement between BZD and BBB here. We'll see if they make it out of this one. Shock drone coming in. Oh, the stun! Oh, he gets over it with 1 HP. Oh, no autos connect either. That's insanely lucky there. Oh, he's going to get the full heal too in time if he can get there. Should be a reset. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's back up again.
I hate those things, bro, when I'm playing. I hate
they can
so
turn
much.
The tide of a fight so instantly. You're hoping that doesn't spawn near the enemy sometimes. Or
somehow it's always the enemy that grabs him and not me.
Right. No, Godfrey is looking to get caught out here, and he gets downed.
Probably a skill diff. Yeah, BBB trying to look for something there, but in the end is going to get kind of forced off. Oh, they're going to right into the arms of Stormbreakers. Bullion looking to find an angle into the Kobas, and he is going to be able to. It's just going to be Kalangi left isolated out here, but they should be just fine. getting the res through here.
Yeah, but they don't have too much money, and there's not too many biomes left available, so the recovery afterwards is going to be quite
True.
difficult. I mean, they can maybe go to the left side, but they just need to have the insight to sort of do that. It's almost like you kind of need to take a photograph of the early game. You know, keep that mental map in your head of like where teams roughly dropped, and then you can maybe consider that no one dropped kind of to the left hand side, so that would be free pickings. But instead, they decided to go north, and there are a couple of mobs left. That the big punch mob with the chest does get staggered away. And
that is gonna put them right in between a couple of teams we saw on the map. Stormbreaker's still to the right, and yeah, FBI on a bit of a split farm here.
Right.
But 2 to their left and Brawl to the north, so not the safest spot. And it does feel terrible, bro, when you start off on like that kind of poverty run and you can't find any camps, and then you're just like waiting for the day. You're like waiting for the day 2 timer, just like hiding. It's like the worst. Yeah. It's like the worst feeling. So hopefully you're able to find something up here.
Because if any team looks at you, they're just looking at, oh, that's a free meal. I'm just gonna gobble that one up real quick. You're right.
Yeah. Especially in these kind of lobbies, bro. Like it's easy to forget. Like if you're just like a casual player, or you're just like grinding ranked. Like these lobbies, like these kind of players at this level of competitiveness, like any weakness, any chink in the armor is like identified instantly. You know,
it's
like
100%.
Oh, they're 1 level down, they're 1 tier of armor down. We win this.
Yeah, literally. Any minuscule difference is just it's just magnified, right, 10 times over. Oh, the hook at the last second, slam down. Unfortunately, Ash gets down there. 29 get 1 free kill point there. Nice stuff. NTU looking for another res opportunity now. They can maybe go towards Vayne or Koba. We'll see which one they go for. And,
yeah, they love that gold armor jack right there. NTU a little sad about losing their 3rd, but they're going to be fine to recover. It looks like the Shy up here in MO. Looking at, we see BBB coming down from that little bit of farm they were able to grab. I think kind of doing what you were saying, trying to find a spot rolling into the next day here to kind of find some farm for catch up.
Yep, and we're seeing Abyssal Eye on the cards in Vayne Grove and Boombox, but no one's even staying around Boombox, surprisingly. Maybe everyone is considering the Eye to have higher value because you can play very safely there because most teams' positions. So that's likely going to be the one that's going to get contested.
We do see, right as you say that, we see like 3 teams shifting down to Boombox as well.
Oh, well, I spoke too soon, I guess. The Abyssal Breaker comes out with no connection. Yasa making it away.
They're both insanely strong powers.
Yeah, I do agree. But I think the Boombox one, out of the 2, I would say slightly lower, but maybe that's just personal preference.
No, I would agree with that. I think for certain, I think for the macro, like it's hard to beat just full vision, dot vision.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
but the Boombox is good for certain comps, right? Like if you've got like a KP comp or something along those lines.
Situations can just be so clutch, but it looks like they're still even stuns, picks it up.
Oh, can he get the overkill rounds? Gets 1 hit onto Clearly, but it's not too much. Oh, the grappling by Aiden. Orlando's gets away with 1 second. Oh, 1 slither HP. Does make it away. Wow.
Just barely sidesteps the Zeph snipe there. 3LP looking so strong. Aiden just face checks Tom on the oath, says, "This is my boombox. We killed this." Slams him into the ground, picks it up while he's stunned, and they fight their way out. Yep.
And at the same time, it looks like SB managed to get the Abyssal Eye in Vayne Grove, and they forced TRF up here. I'm wondering if they actually lost Blackrock during that exchange. So that's a bummer for them at the moment, but they should be able to recover relatively easily here. We're seeing Pop with the kind of slow passive farm game for the moment, kind of out of zone, out of everyone's vision and eyesight, and no one's going to find them, which is kind of the game you'd ideally want to have, where no one's kind of no one's being a prying eye. You're not, you're able to get that money up. You're able to kind of think about the late game without anyone kind of occupying your mental space.
Lurking. It's just,
right. Because it kind of just distracts you sometimes. You're thinking about, who's immediately in front of my face, rather than like, oh, how do we need to position into the next zone, which is sometimes, or maybe all of the time, the more important question to ask.
And we saw up there just a second ago, NTU kind of facing off against 29, who had jacked their gold armor. Here, FBI and BBB looking at each other. Looks like FBI kind of wants it, pressing forward a bit. Couple snipes coming through. Lingo on the Saros as well.
Yep, the Saros is so nice in this matchup with these small corridors. For some parts of Imatech, it makes it very hard for BBB to play on. But at the same time, it's also good for Kalangi. With the car there, you can potentially get a really nice angle. But AUR just beneath them, and they're trying to two-way the Bond away. But we'll see if that is going to be the case, if they can get it in time. AUR do wander off there. And onto the right side, we see like a potential mega fight happening between TRF and 29. NTU on the left-hand side. We're seeing Trent to go through the wall, and it's just last member. Ori last alive. He does have an E-plat as well, and he can maybe go for this res. We'll see if NTU do start to apply pressure from the left-hand side onto TRF. Blackrock with no armor as well. Numa maybe trying some war tech there. Decided to against it at the last second, and we'll see if 29 are going to be permitted this res. I'd be surprised if TRF allow this. Blackrock doesn't make us way across.
Got to be careful with NTU on the south here, looking to pinch, but they're going to be fine forcing it off. Nuke out, actually going to put TRF in a bit of a rough spot. Nice nuke coming through from no team up there.
Yep, and
we kind of force him off. TRF peeling to the left now.
Exactly. And now it's just like an exchange of positions between NTU and TRF there, but they have made their way out now. Probably better for them because they can get a shop in. They can, they're in circle and they've got the soul on the left of them. It's kind of a couple of benefits to being on the side potentially, but they have to always keep a prying eye behind them as well, maybe with some vision nades or something along those lines, because that NTU could easily creep back up on them, and we need to see who takes both of these souls here.
I think that's why they throw that fire out there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Nice at 1 HP. Can he get it away is the question. Sonoda also escaping as well there narrowly. And Theo gets the slam down, but I'm not sure if there's going to be too much reinforcement there. Kazaro trying to get some damage in with the auto. Gets Trenzy down, but he takes a lot of damage to the boss at the same time. And, the stun at the last second prevents Liza from getting the ulti.
This is what they're afraid of.
All right, and LPL come in. Oh, Kazaro needs to get out of town if he can. And Sonoda just follows suit. Hopefully they're going to make their way out of this one. They don't have an E-plat, but they can likely make their way, hopefully south side or something along those lines. It is gliders, actually. Never mind. They should be fine. And we do see it's likely LPL are going to take this soul for free. And NTU have kind of arrived semi-late here. And we'll see if...
I'm honestly surprised NTU didn't show up a little sooner there. I thought both them and LPL were going to kind of crash the party there. LPL, like kind of the true winners, played that really well. Patiently, just waiting for the third. I think TRF maybe over-pushed that a little with 2 squads in the south. It's going to put them in a little bit of a rough spot where down to 2 members, Blackrock on health now. No team up sees them kind of on the back foot. We were talking about it earlier. There's really no ground, no quarter given when a team sees you're at disadvantage out here.
Exactly.
No team up looking to follow up, and VCO's lurking on the left here.
Uh-oh, let's see what happens. We also just saw, I think Yasa just took someone down, if I'm not mistaken. No, look, potentially at the same time, NTU are dancing against TRF here. Uh-oh, and the LMB start coming out from that spider brawl. You know that there's that directional knockback. Turtle. That you can kind of semi-cancel now, but I'm not sure how impactful it's been at the moment. They'll maybe tweak that. And at the same time, we're seeing NTU with the TP play over the wall there. But does connect. Just missed the ulti narrowly. Spider-Ball did back there. Singularity. Uh-oh, Blackrock is down. Niza. Oh my god, this is a stinker. TRF are out last place.
NTU do not want to let them escape. That's crazy. That's last. That's 12th right there, bro. We're so deep into this. That's insane.
And also 29 is also one of those like top teams also playing Last Alive, in the mega abyss at the moment. And those glider engines are providing that opportunity for that team to do that.
So this is like what we were just talking about, bro, where it's like with the Red Frog kind of playstyle. It reminds me so much of like I've talked about it before, but the way Gap, it was like King Nidhogg and Height, and I'm trying to remember like the exact
Kenneth maybe was it the last?
Yeah, Kenneth was in there, and there was one more. Anyways, like they're so. Yeah, in squads. Yeah. Gap, like old Gap.
Yeah,
but they were like so
like
good mechanically, right? Their mechanical prowess was like so strong, but they just were a little too over aggro. They would do things like that where they'd kind of overcommit for a fight that was looking maybe good, but without the kind of positioning they needed to succeed because they were almost guaranteed to get third partied. And Shy now in a really rough spot. 3LP sees the flying foursome right at the PL.
And Sprocaine is last alive. He had to use both of his portals to get out there. He's got this small kind of portion of space to play in. We want to see if LPL want to chase this one to the end of the earth, but as we know with that glider engines, just like the rest of these like kind of 3 or 4 teams, he's just going to play in the full abyss here. But he does not have E-plat there, so there is a potential for a spike here from either side. Matrix goes with that defensive utility there with the E-plat kind of prematurely potentially, and Sprocaine does manage to make his way out kind of in the center of this circle for the moment. And as you mentioned, they were. I was just thinking as you were saying it, they were stuck in such a sticky situation. They were only 2-man, and there's all these 3 or 4 teams just like collapsing in on them.
But they got to that 2-man, bro, because they overcommitted that soul. I think they basically went to force that soul fight with 2 squads already behind them, and one of them, played the third really well, and the one that was patient, NTU, who came in 4th, is the one that finds the last 2 members of the Red Frogs running away and just chases them till they're out. It's like that's like, especially with 12 squads left, bro. There's such tiny margin for error out here. It's like one tiny macro mistake, even if you're gods mechanically, can put you in a position where you're the last place team.
Yeah, you have to play so cautiously. I almost feel like this is something that I felt was kind of present with the NA scrims from the ones I saw. Like people wouldn't take scrims that seriously, and I kind of felt like some of that as kind of rubbed off onto the EU members. It feels like some of them don't. You see them kind of making very risky plays that would never happen in a tourney, and maybe it's been like almost bad practice for some teams. I don't know if they'll I don't know if they're now that they're in a tourney, it will kind of reset the mentality back to a more methodical approach, let's say, to playing the game, because it feels like some teams are potentially just sending it and then they have like a kind of bad muscle memory, and it's forcing them to make
that's a really good call out, bro, because that like the whole reason you're scrimming is to develop that muscle memory for competitive, and if you're developing the muscle memory to ship it in because you're getting impatient playing in scrims, like that's surely going to shine through at some level in tournaments. You can't just turn it on and off if that's what you're practicing for. So I love that call out.
I mean, that's just my observation right now, but maybe some people will disagree with that. But we're also seeing, LPL, they do have the E-plats, the double E-plats, and as the circle is closing, it's kind of like shooting a barrel of fish here. You're gonna hit something at some point here, surely. Sprocaine is basically to the left-hand side. It's gonna be okay for now. And while the rest of the teams are kind of dancing in the abyss with this perfect feathering that we expect from high-level players. Never mind, one person gets spiked there, and there are too many islands to play on. Oh, a dunk coming up from Rebel as well. Uh-oh, and Numa's now trying to dance still against LPL. Gets one TP at the last second.
Doing the shift magic.
Oh my god. He has no armor though.
Numa's going crazy out here.
Right, I don't know if he's still got air blast, but maybe he can do something miraculous with that to extend his life a bit further. That's not the case, and now Atomics is trying to send his Rain of Arrows, trying to force Numa off. Okay, there he goes with the Fury, 1 HP, and he does actually get him at the end. And Theo tries something with the grappling, doesn't get the slam, unfortunately, slightly mistimes it. And LPL now back onto solid ground again. It looks like Shroom found another kill onto Godefroy there on the side of BBB. And we're now looking at some potential hammer exchanges from Jayudame against 3LP. But they've decided against it, moving back into the center of the map, or to the left, shall I say, back into the circle. And we are now firmly in endgame.
LPL wins that fight, bro, but Numa doing such a good job holding that platform. Like 2 times where he shifts everyone off it and puts himself back on it with the void shift. I love it. Boyan just doing his very best to live down here. Yep. I don't know if it's going to be possible, though. He got like 3 squads on him. He's going to get taken out. So just like that, bro, 4 squads out, down to 8.
Yep, and unfortunately Shy got outed too, but it looks like 29 have recovered. We know that Ori was last alive not too long ago, but that Most Wanted did pop, and they have an E-plat, so they are able to play kind of safely without feathering onto solid ground here. And we do see a slam coming out, Theo trying to return the anger, but it's not enough. Kazaro last alive. Oh, he gets spiked himself!
Wow.
And LPL are now trying to look for a res, but that circle is closing. We've got to hope that they can find, another pocket of space to kind of get into circle, and hopefully get this res off at the same time. Their chances are looking slim as 29 are kind of holding this edge as much as they can. Their E-plat comes out from LPL. The slam goes down, it misses. And the knockaway as well takes down Yui, but LPL get downed. Unfortunately, 7th place there.
After that, LPL were like owning the abyss. They got 1 full team's wipe, then they get a second. They're like, like feeling good. Then they just come around the corner, and all of 29 is waiting there for them. I mean, this is our abyss, bro. They had
the audio cues right, so they know they just had to wait there, and there'll be 2 free kills to pick up, because there's not really a chance they can go onto this kind of like go downward, southward, southwards. So.
Yeah, so in the end, 29 kind of coming out on top there. 3LP continuing to look, but
we got caught in a major way. The boombox comes out, and I'm hoping that they can get this res off. They do get it off, but the chase continues. Oh, Shroom getting knocked away. Oh, back into VZ Oza territory now, and the slam goes down, giving Aiden a bit more breathing room. It's not enough, unfortunately. Shroom trying to escape now. The Fury comes up from Clerney. He does dash north side fully, and hopefully Shroom can glide out of this one, but he can't. Unfortunately, get spiked by Sebi. 3LP are out. 6th place. That's a lot of good teams out very early, I would say, but there's still, to be honest, there's still a lot of good teams left alive. We are in the finals. As we keep mentioning, the chance for error is just completely minimized. Any small blemish there is just turn into a big crack, and everyone will just expose that flaw in your team comp or the way that your team plays, and your team are going to get decimated if you make that misplay. As we saw from 3LP, Akalinks, just kind of got the displacement charge sent on him, or he got knocked away from something. I think it was from fire, if I'm not mistaken, and then he was just so out of position, and then the Abyssal Breaker could come out and just do such a big chunk of damage there. And
I wonder how much the boombox has like fallen off in Prio because of how strong Oath is at just forcing everyone out of it. Like the amount of disruption he can do with the shift bright shield into the boombox to like push everyone out of the boombox is like kind of crazy. Like it kind of just screws the whole boombox. Like
oh yeah,
idea,
I agree 100%. You know? Like we see BlackRock, for example, he's typically the guy who always takes boombox. You know, we call him like BlackRock the boombox guy, basically. That's like his like nickname
DJ
almost.
BlackRock.
Yeah, right. Just at the same time, sorry, we're just seeing SB getting forced out here with the Rain of Arrows, trying to force him to 29. Mega fight going on here. It looks like SB taking out 29, taking Dominion over the space as well. Oh my god, the aggression by SB was so cleanly and, you know, it was just manufactured perfectly there. What a diamond, a gem of play.
And to get that so clean, no knocks on their side, and just almost instantly squad wipe 29 there. 29 kind of having a good spot, holding the edge of circle. Stormbreakers just completely force it, but it's something they're really good at. Nuke out here by R, forcing Stormbreakers' hand now. They're going to make their way up to the north, find a little bit of position onto FBI here. FBI here holding strong, have the teleport soul. Not going to be a huge deal at the moment, but that triple gold and good fire position, definitely pretty solid spot here for them.
Yep, and just looking at people's armors, it looks like FBI are on the ups in comparison to most teams. You know, they've got like the triple orange here, so they're looking very, very healthy. They've got the nuke probably still in the tuck as well, so as that circle continues to close, that nuke is gonna get even more value. Now we're potentially looking at SB trying to rotate down, and they're going into the hands of BZO potentially. Orzandos catches out Gecko here potentially, but he does dash away at the last second, reuniting with his team. The Fury sent out by Clerney, making sure that SB are going to be forced out permanently here. So BZO have kind of guaranteed themselves this kind of lower ground at the moment on the bottom left-hand side of this new circle, as the circle continues to close.
Yeah, actually really nice movement there from Stormbreakers. Somehow like walk in the middle of all three squads, remove themselves from that sketchy spot in the abyss to the north center there, and find their way into this pretty decent spot. It is not high ground, but it's a good spot in the next shift. So I think Stormbreaker is much more comfortable down here. It's going to put, you know, someone like R in more of the pinch position now, as they're going to have to make their way in. And BZO even too, as Stormbreaker's looking to kind of pinch them. Shin on the bottom.
Yep. Oh, we see the push does not connect, unfortunately, and AUR making down the spike happens, unfortunately. Greninja now trying to send Fury onto Tom Kick, trying to buy himself a bit of time. We see now AUR in the middle of this map. Greninja is like 1 HP. He has to scale for a bit of extra total HP, and unfortunately still gets down. The boombox gets placed. Abyssal Breaker as well. Greninja 1 HP trying to hide in the wall if he can. Nice knock away. Unfortunately, Greninja gets down, and the avalanche comes in, and a mega fight now. SB are fighting for their life here in this abyss. Punch comes out from Sebi. It's mega.
No way, they're alive.
SB 1 HP. Gecko. No way. SB get out in 4th place. Oh my god, I had to bring out the falsetto there, and now it's 1 minute 45 on Fluffy. We'll see if we can get this most wanted. Abyssal Break comes out, and Orlando's takes a big chunk of damage, but I'm not sure if it's enough. We'll see if FBI want to continue the pressure here. They just played the slow and patient game, and they just pounced on the right teams at the right times. We've seen that the Storm Nade being placed there as well for a bit of extra zoning. And now we're in this kind of a mini face-off. It's not yet a Mexican standoff. We've seen the two ways come out as well. And FBI kind of have dominion over the majority of the map, I would argue.
Yeah, VZO playing that really nice, bro. We're seeing I can literally hear Tom Kick talking in my head, like in these situations. Like the Tom Kick comms, like oftentimes are what come out on top in these situations, because so often when you're at this point in the game, it's just if your team can play together and coordinate and do the same thing at the same time. And so if the kind of IGL is good, if the shot calling is good, if the calls are good, and everyone is following, like these are often what. And here we see it, everyone into the double TP, putting the flank on the FBI. Tom Kick, Abyssal Breaker out.
Oh, we're going to see that's another Abyssal Breaker sent out. Oh, nice knockaway as well. We'll see if there's enough HP left on Orlando. Is this going to be one? He's going to make it out. Rescue Tower comes out as well to give him a bit of extra boost there. And Jerry Davies now fighting for his life. The shield's coming out. The boombox comes out as well for extra insurance. Fluffy with 30 seconds left. He's wondering if he can grab an opportunity on Clanny or someone else, for example. If they're in that vulnerable state, they're going to take that extra damage. And the punch comes out from fire. We'll see if the displacement charge does an extra bit of damage. 20 seconds left, but he unfortunately dies, and FBI take that out, getting 1 extra kill point, and now there's just 2 teams left. We're going to see how this dance continues now. It's not stopping. We've seen double soul on the side of FBI. These don't have that kind of semi-high ground, but it depends on if the chase wants to continue downwards. Oh, onto the low ground, into the ice. Both of them get down. It's just ice last alive now. Looks like BZO applied that pressure perfectly there, and it's just dancing the autos. It's not enough, and unfortunately, BZO take game number 2.
VZO play that beautifully at the end there. I like really just, I mean, that's Tom Kick experience right there. Like what a really nice teleport, two-way teleport. They put it in the storm, so no one can even really see that it's forming up. They all go instantly at the same time, dip, put themselves in a situation where they are now at the top of the circle, putting the other team in the pinch position. And like everyone playing that really well there. Crown almost coming through. I think we saw like 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
Before he was taken out of the end there. So really close to and picked that up. So played, you know, a minute 40 in a 1v6, able to live it out there. But in the end, I think the superior macro from VZO there with a really clean team teleport to kind of reverse the pinch is going to lock it in for him. And you'll love to see it.
Yep. And we're just going to have a very, very short intermission here. And I guess at the same time, yeah, we were just talking about the patch notes. I know that you've not had too much of a chance to, you know, make those awesome videos that you normally do. I remember seeing you on Carbine. You know, you went through all of the like minute tech. It was really incredible, you know, that you'd already, you know, deciphered the character in such a quick period of time. So I am looking forward to the next video that you create.
That's those kind of mechanics videos are my jam. Like not just for Supervive, but like even before I started doing Supervive stuff, I just really love like game mechanics. So like even, you know, those kind of videos are my favorite to even make because that one specifically, I really liked Carbine. So I literally played like, I don't know, 28 hours versus bots that weekend, you know. It's just like because you're just in the dev queue with the early access thing. I couldn't play with anyone, so the only way I could figure him out was like grinding against like bots. And so,
yeah.
But he was so fun, and I was like, he had some really deep mechanics going on. So, anyways, I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, no worries, man. And I don't know if you have any insights on like any of the new characters that have been in development. I know that we saw that I think maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, where there was like I think it was either Major Pleasure or Fate Strikes. Maybe they did like a little what's it called, like a character presentation where they kind of went through a bunch of like, you know, theory crafted characters, potential characters that could be added to the game. And I remember one of them had something like kind of similar to Bebo, where it was kind of like a character on a ball, and the ball was like almost like a kind of piece of slime, and you could kind of run over enemies or teammates and kind of pick them up. Maybe that's what Bebo eventually became, but I don't know if you know any, like, new character.
I know this this concept you're talking about. Yeah, I know what it is, but that was actually I think the original concept for that was actually a player that presented to Theorycraft. They did like way back, maybe even before the NDA lift. There was like a community event that Fate Strikes hosted where they
that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So, and someone did, so that bubblegum one you're talking about, it like actually was so cool, bro. Like where they're like bouncing and like using the physics. So I don't know how much of that kind of stuff like TC has like taken and internalized, but I will say, I don't know details, but I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with the amount of hunters coming. Like, I don't know necessarily with 1.0. Like, I expect at least one to come, like, with, you know, right on the 1.0 launch. I don't know what that's going to be, but you would imagine at least one new hunter drops with 1.0, right? But I think from there, bro, they might go like I think they might have been kind of storing them up, where we might see a like kind of, you know, maybe like more like every couple weeks for a bit of a cadence. Cause this is like, you know, especially for TC, this is like all in, right? So it's like all or nothing here. So they might kind of like, you know, err on the side of, you know, more content, more excitement. Like, and imagine if your hunter release schedule is more like 2 weeks right after launch instead of a month, and kind of how much hype that would bring, even if you only hold that up for like a month or two, right? So let's say it's like 5 hunters, you drop one with launch, and then you drop one every 2 weeks after that for the next 2 months. Like that would be, you know, for the first like 2 weeks of gameplay, or I mean like first like month of gameplay, like after launch, having like 5 hunters hit, like that would be hype, bro. Like that would keep, I feel like that would really keep the you know, and who knows like how it's all going to play out. But I will say I do expect them to kind of like ramp up a little bit for 1.0, and so we'll see. But I actually have no idea. They've been like very close to the vest on like what is coming, as far as especially on the hunter side of things. Like I actually have, because I kind of knew vaguely. I had seen Farshot, who's Carbine. I hadn't seen Eva, but I had seen Bebo. You know, a lot of these had been being tested for some time. But I literally don't know the new ones like that are coming.
Okay.
I haven't seen them reach out like testing any of that stuff yet. So
Okay.
we will see.
I mean, I guess that's one of my potential, like, oh, got a bit of like a worried gut feeling, in case those heroes are like massively broken on release and they just kind of just warp the gameplay too much. We've got to hope that's not the case. So, if they've
Well, hopefully they kind of learned, like you would really hope they kind of learned like what they've because think of the amount of touches they've put into Brawl, Oath, Jin, Hudson, like these hunters that do feel oppressive. They've essentially like dismantled their kits in a lot of ways, like since launch.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they've kind of learned from that because I agree, right? But hopefully like they've kind of learned from the dangers of overtuning and how a character being oppressive can drive more players away than the players playing that and it being fun, like keeping them engaged. So I agree, but I do think like hopefully they kind of are more aware of that now at least, so they can plan a little better around it.
Yeah. We've got to hope that's the case. So, if there is we'll know hopefully in like maybe in the coming weeks maybe that they'll start like giving a couple of like test sessions maybe to try out these new characters, or maybe they go full NDA mode because they just want it to be like a massive
I think they might just do that, bro, because I haven't heard anything, and usually I see stuff going kind of like going on, like especially if they're putting out like internal playtests, but I haven't seen anything happening. So, and maybe they're running like super internal playtests with only like very select like top players, but yeah, it's been very kind of like
on the
dark as far as the comms.
Yeah. Because I've even within the friends community, I've not heard anyone say anything about like, oh yeah, I played this and we tested this, something at NDA for example. Like nothing happened at all. Like it's been radio silence. Like not even anyone saying I played in an NDA. It's just been complete.
Yeah,
silence.
exactly. So I think they are, and I think like I actually have no idea, bro. But if I had to guess, like I think some amount of the changes getting implemented are going to be perhaps like because they're talking about this armory thing, right? So like what is that? And maybe that's like a meta system where it's not even necessarily in-game stuff that's changing. Maybe that's more of like an external progression thing or something. You know what I mean? Like who even knows like what the armory is and how that's going to like change or affect like the gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. I just like these next 6 weeks or like however long it's gonna be, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. Just need to like go by, dude, so we can so we can know.
Like we've waited patiently this long, through the closed beta period, and now in the open beta period, and we've seen all these myriad of changes as you were mentioning. And we're in like the final kind of hurdle, so we're all desperately hoping that they stick this landing, and at the same time, just as we mentioned that Pop had like a really bad engagement against 3LP, and 2 members are already down. Oh, Sinnoh gets spiked. Unfortunately, Pop are out in last place. Very, very, very early on in the game, they took a kind of a potentially aggressive encounter against on the grind there, and they just lost it there. So bad.
Yeah, sometimes those early fights can just, especially in trios, it's even more brutal because like I feel like in squads, just the odds you could get one away early was just so much higher. And that was kind of like to the point I mentioned earlier, just about like how in trios, I feel like the idea of anchoring is much more like sort of like prolific and like obvious, like upfront, like it's more important because in squads it was almost like one person almost like organically got away, where like if you throw like a carnage of a team fight together, the odds that one of the 4 kind of like slips out to the side and finds space is like fairly good. It seems like with 3 the odds that like randomly happens is less, and so you actually have to have someone very intentionally like playing more of an anchor position where it's like, okay, I'm the one looking to get out if stuff goes awry. And on top of that, you have 2 more squads on the map now with 12 instead of 10. So even though there's less total players, there's more space being occupied, more opportunities for third parties. And I don't know, I just like, it's such an interesting, I've loved this kind of like shift into trios and how it's like, because as someone like me, like I've literally watched squad Supervive for like 4+ years, right? Like it's been a long time that I've watched squads, and so like I still, even though we're a lot of people feel like trios is the normal now, like I still notice like a lot of like differences, and I'm especially thinking about it because NA has been scrimming squads for the squads tournament this weekend, and so it's like even more on my mind than normal. But like I just like in trios, everything's so much more kind of decisive. You know, you have to be.
Oh my god!
Revel just catches BlackRock right on the edge with the grapple primal slam into the abyss. LPL get the kill. Let's go.
Yep, and we're seeing a TRF having to like retrace their steps. So you know, after that surprise spike came out there, you'd normally see BlackRock being the defensive husk of a man of a shield, trying to bolster up the rest of his team members. But as soon as he died, they're instantly like whimpering away. And looking for a res opportunity, which they're likely going to get it off with the cycle this wide. And full north side, we're seeing a potential engagement here between BBB and VZO. We'll see if they're going to make it out of this one. Orlando's has got that the Pokemon, the heal one available now. So,
I love that, dude.
Yeah, it's so good.
OP.
He gets downed here. Unfortunately, VZO now on the chase. Overcurrent's come out, no connection. Tom with the two-way. Orlando's following him very shortly. And it looks like he's going to make it out. Oh, no, doesn't take the anomaly at that second. Oh, kind of jukes him for a second there. We'll see how much he can continue to do this. Oh, he still doesn't go through, unfortunately.
Almost had that one.
He gets spiked as well. It's very unfortunate. And we are seeing Godefroy fully on the right hand side, getting the team back up. We're seeing Endless Reaper on the cards, about 56%, but it looks like a team fight got forced it kind of to the south side. And one member of SB gets down here, 2 down now. Deborek is now having to, fight for the team survival here. And as we mentioned before, that circuit is still relatively wide, so there are a multitude of res opportunities available. We're looking at day 2 mob resets as well for the majority of teams, should they choose to go for them. We know that Shire are playing that slow methodical game after that kind of semi-stinker game they had, like was it like an 8th place or something along those lines. So they're kind of taking the slow game for the moment. TRF find another pick onto BBB after they just rezzed, walked into zone and instantly get downed again, donating 1 shard to TRF.
TRF and 3LP are just so explosive. They're constantly looking for fights, especially 3LP today. Like their fights are so explosive. They're just like their engages are so clean. They're just blowing people up in like seconds. Like that engage they had on to 29, like up on that E plat. I think it was last game.
Yeah.
Just like it basically instanting them. like they're just looking like kind of really clean on the engages. And we saw one just shortly before this. I think on the side of. Whoever it was. So I think like 3LP gonna be tragic. That is tragic. No. Sometimes that rain's so hard to see, especially in Storm there.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely a tough one.
And as you were saying, I think one thing I'd like to mention is like, it's kind of like that bomber as they kind of split up and, Aiden was originally part of that, if I'm not mistaken. So, maybe some of that intrinsic, aggro DNA is kind of transferred, or kind of split between the teams, and you can kind of still see
that's a great call out. It's like they both have the Bomba mentality.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
we are the best. We're gonna crush you. Look out.
It's good. We're happy to see that still persist for those legendary old school teams from the end.
Dude, it literally makes me so happy to see Niza back in the mix, bro, because he was like one of my favorite players to watch. Like literally one of the very first players like to sort of unlock Jewel. Like where you see 100%. Them doing crazy Jewel things.
Oh, Tom kicks in with a big Abyssal Breaker at the same time. Rain of Virus coming up from both sides. It looks like a mini disengagement there. And 29 looking quite healthy in respect to armors. They've got the Shuffer as well. So they may be going to get a high roll with a Blink or a Rewinder or something along those lines. Not too long.
Nine's been continuing to impress too, because I've been like a lot of those players I've kind of been watching here and there over scrims over the last 6 months. We see R looking for an engage on the TRF here.
Oh, narrowly missed that ulti there from Sebi, but he gets the punch against BlackRock. Half HP. We'll see how this fight is going to continue. Ori, not Ori, Ninja 1 HP. BlackRock now has healed up the rest of his team. They're kind of low on armors on both sides here, but AUR are going to maybe get these repairs in first potentially. They start coming out. Fluffy nicely blocks that R&B from Saros there. And maybe they can dance through to get these repairs or heals up in time. Greninja's kind of split from the team, and TRF are going to collapse on this. Wow. Oh, it's an awkward flank there. The big punch from Sebi. Unfortunately, this does not get like a 1 or 2 man stun there. The trees come out for a bit of extra defensive measure, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. And Shun and SB coming in with the Fuselaw gets 2 picks.
Wow.
Well, gets 1 pick, shall I say, right at the end. And they're maybe going to get a clean third here. Niza gets down here now, and it's just 2 members left on TRF. Ooh. Was a potential big upset there from 2 teams that they're going to have to try and recuperate if they can. And there's going to be slightly less res opportunities considering I guess what we've got. We've got the train, I guess, top right, the broken one on Prisma, full north on Prisma as well potentially.
The problem with like an extended fight like that is you're literally inviting the third party. Like they were kind of poking each other for so long. Coming down to a team fight down here, BBB putting the pressure on the FBI. They're looking super low. Lingo is down. Just one escaping to the north, I think, for FPI. So it's just going to be... Oh, they did get another member out as well. So they have Bishop split to the bottom as well. They are going to be able to recover, it looks like, here.
Holy. Now we're seeing the Soul getting taken by SB. That, as you mentioned, that third party was really clean. You know, I feel like SB are one of those kind of teams that they just look for audio cues, kind of similar to Shy in a way, but the way that they pounce or execute the fight is slightly different to Shy. You know, we just saw that dagger send in from Shin. You know, I guess because they had the eye as well. Maybe did they have the eye before? I'm not too sure, but maybe they also used the eye and the audio cues to just know how to execute that fight perfectly. You know, kind of predicting the outcome almost, because you know, these teams are very experienced. They kind of know how the outcomes of these fights typically go if they get a clean third in. So
yeah, and Shin, like one of these players that's like exceptionally like over aggro in a good way on the Shiv, where there's not really other Shivs. Oh, the huge dog into the wall!
Matrix!
Explosion, Kalangi! Going huge!
He fucking sent it with the Lambo, and Shy are now going to be waiting for this kill. Who's going to take it though? It looks like Kalangi gets that last kill. And
Kalangi gets the massive tonk into the wall.
That
Let's
was
go.
Massive. And it's so good in this specific area because of all the spike walls as well, so you can maybe get a bit of extra damage sometimes, depending on how he gets the knock-in. And we're seeing Aiden with the Delicate as well, plus the grapple. You know, it's got like almost like 1 to 2 of these Infinity Stones that make KP just mega strong.
True.
We just need to see if he gets it in.
Yeah, if he gets the full glove. Good thing he doesn't have 5 power slots.
Right, you know, if that was a thing, oh my god, every KP, it would be like 100% pick rate on EU, but thank god that's not the case. Maybe that's what Armory is, we'll never know until release.
You can build a Thanos glove.
Right.
Slot in 5 powers.
Right. We're seeing Saros do some poke here, and it is in this narrow space, preventing NTU from having any sort of entry. They're going to have to play on these kind of mini islands for the moment. And we are looking at day 4 mob resets for any team that can grab that last little morsel of XP. And at the same time, we're seeing 29 having an engagement against 3LP. The Fury sent it by Ori, and it looks like it has forced 3LP away to the north side for the moment. They're going to grab that Berry Eater as well if any team would want it. Maybe Shroom takes that instead of the barrier here.
29's been looking strong too. They're looking like really calculated, like playing really smart. Like we've seen them get caught a couple times, but in general, finding really good angles. BBB getting caught again here. Stormbreakers constantly on the hunt. Shin putting out a ton of pressure on the Shiv, but looking to return.
Oh, the punch!
Oh!
Almost,
but it's countered.
Yeah, and SB, I think, if I'm not mistaken, did not lose a member. They just split for the moment. Sorry, never mind that. But that fight was looking kind of shady for a second there from all teams. Like if the fight continued to persist there, and you know, as the armors were starting to get degraded from that continuous fighting. You know, if it went on for like 5 more seconds, I believe it would have just, you know, maybe at least 2 of the teams would have died there. But, you know, every team just managed to find a bit of breathing room, and then they kind of just went out their own separate ways. It looks like SB have got that full armor reset now, and the zone pool is going towards the north side. So how many teams? It's about 6 or 7 teams are going to have to find a small pocket of space to get into zone, and this is where those important powers might, you know, are going to become even more useful, like a 2-way, for example, you know, just to kind of get the way into zone, you know, without playing on the edge. They can kind of just bypass it. So
yeah, and like you're looking at like the Storm Shift, like a 2-way with because we're cross country right now.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like a 2-way goes crazy. Some certain powers go crazy in this kind of Storm Shift. BB in another fight here against TRF. TRF on the Blackfoot. Blackrug won. They're forcing Shredzy out in the storm, but BB's gonna get pinched here, bro. Stormbreakers is in.
Oh, the spike as well, the ulti from Gecko. We see if it's... Oh, he's likely dead here. I'm not sure if he can make it out of this one. Unfortunately, Boolean gets downed here. Kalangi getting that bomb res off on himself, luckily. A similar play that we would see with, like, Oaths, for example, is now being utilized by those Bebos. And Deprek misses that punch narrowly. The ulti doesn't connect either, but Shy looking for a third. Kalangi gets down here. Godefroy is last alive on the side of BBB. He's going to try and skirt around the right-hand side. Daggers upwards. Shin with a defensive dagger as well. Fuselaw coming up from Godefroy. It's not going to be enough. Unfortunately, BBB get outed 8th place.
Man, you gotta get it to they were BBB was fighting so hard there though for that last like 5 minutes. They were literally in like every fight we banned to,
of course,
just like hanging on, like honestly playing it really well. But in the end, gonna get kind of overwhelmed there, taken out at 8th.
Yep, and as we're seeing, you know, SB were just lurking around the left hand side for that third party. So I think that Abyssal Eye, you know, it is granting them that ever important information to just know how to perfectly execute those thirds.
It is such a strong power when you consider like how precise the kind of vision is.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it updates like whatever, what is it, like 2 or 3 seconds it updates, but it's still enough to give you like mega knowledge about how to play something. And we are seeing like you know, they're making use of that knowledge, because we see like some of the lesser known teams, they just kind of don't, they kind of sometimes have the power fall in their lap, but they don't necessarily know how to, you know, make use of the information. So it's really good to see like
100%. And like in a team like Stormbreakers, like you're saying, like the experience they kind of got under the belt, they're using it not only for those kind of micro plays to find the picks, they're also using it for like the macro positioning we see there. They pick up their fire, they move south because they kind of have more awareness of where everyone else is at on the map than these other squads. And violence continuing down here. It looks like NTU under a bunch of pressure. Yazer getting a double snipe through with Viridius Fury onto Spider Brawl as Ash gets taken out on the left by 29. So just like that, they are going to be removed at 7th, down to 6 here, Symeri, in game 3.
Yep. Oh, and I don't know if Orlandis knows that FBI just lurking in this bush. Fire's kind of just playing the fake bait game. The Disabreak comes out. The slam as well. Sure, he's dead. The punch as well. And Orlando's gets down there. So who is left on Visados? The question is just Tom Kick. We're going to have to quickly look at where he's very shortly, but the fight is not stopping here. Aiden coming in with the slug wave and grappling hook, taking down Jai Dame there. And the obviously does, it does connect. Shroom gets another pick, and Lingo's last alive now. We're seeing 2 kind of rats playing for their life here. The SB are just choosing to back here instead of continuing any fight onto anyone. Lingo trying to send some autos out, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It looks like Lingo gets down as well, and FBI are out 6th place there. Oof.
3LP like starting a little quiet, but there's their decisive engage. Just come in, crush into the flank, force the issue, ends in a squad wipe there. So now down to 5. Stormbreakers, though, we saw them pull their fire. They moved down to this high ground, posted up. Tom Kick just playing to work like this cheeky bush angle right on the edge of fire vision, just praying no one's going to check.
He's saying, no, don't find me, don't find me. We can see the movements coming out there.
But yeah, it's going to be 3LP kind of posturing up against Stormbreakers. Stormbreakers having the high ground and the vision here. So Aiden lurking, looking for that disguised hook, is going to get bumped back. But look, Shy's on the flank, looking for the pinch.
Oh, the grappling slam down. Oh my god, Aiden executing that cinema that he's done about 50 times before. It never gets boring though. It's like watching like Toy Story over and over again as a kid. You never get tired of that one. Oh my god. And then we're seeing a frog jump on the side of Shroom as well, so we'll see if they're going to, you know, like jump over any big mountains here or something along those lines. You know, Tom is just waiting there, biding his time. He's still going to be in circles, so he's going to be okay for now. And he has the 2-way as well, keep in mind. So, you know, you can play in this kind of like small triangle forever, basically, and then find some other circle. And
even like he's kind of stuck right there, but you mentioned the 2-way. He does have a lot of space if he can get out of there somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still like a decently big circle, like not a ton of options. Would maybe have to. There's a crown deep bottom right, and also could look for a shop angle potentially if he has the coin. But
he does have
like totally happy to just play for placement here, bro. Just hang out in his triangle.
Yep, and 29 are like playing in a really like a calm and collected manner. But considering the soul that they have, they already have like kind of dibs on the zone, on the next zone, and they have TP soul. So you know, whichever way it rotates, you know, if they want to go there early, they can do that if they want to. So it does provide them with, you know, an extra bit of rotational utility. And now we're seeing a potential mini face-off between the 2 members of SB and Shy here. If I'm not mistaken, Debrek is down for the moment. He did have Boombox in his possession when he was alive, but it has been transferred to Hachi. So we need to see like how SB want to move out of this one. It's going to be quite difficult for them here. And I think
this
Tom
next shift is going to be kind of difficult.
Visa Breaker out, drops the pad instantly. Oh, narrowly avoids the slam there. And we need to... I think a spike happened at the same time. And there's only 1 member left on the side of SB, Gecko. And he's going to make his way into that circle as it now slowly stops to move up to the top left. And 29 are also kind of mirroring the same kind of action as well. 3LP doing the same. And it does look like Shire making the way all the way through north with 1 portal being used now. Gecko kind of hiding, trying to find a bush if he can. Oh, can he before 3LP find him? I think he's going to get found now. Oh, grappling. Oh, it does connect, and the slam doesn't. And Gecko's going to be living for a couple seconds longer. Now running into the hands of 29. Grapples away at the last second, narrowly missing that hook. Oh, but he gets spiked at the last second. They glide for fun. And the souls...
Was playing it so well.
Yeah, 29 have both of the souls now. And they're going to be looking ever stronger. We're seeing an avalanche, nuke, a frog jump on the side of Yui. So that's going to be ever important, you know, because he's one of those kind of players as a KP who has that kind of unique play style where he kind of likes to take jump pads or frog jumps and, you know, kind of get a dunk on someone. So
I love that. And like frog jump is like just can be in certain situations can be such a strong power. I feel like it's underestimated a lot of times, but can be So strong. Tom Kick's still in this, bro. We did see in the midst of all that chaos, he did throw his two-way down, was able to find his way out to the south, but now is going to be in such a rough spot. Hachi punches him into the tree. He's going to get caught. Second Andysill has the tunnel, though. He's going to get through. Bright Shields live somehow. Ace Tom Kick is still alive.
Oh, I don't think he's going to live for much longer, though. 29er pouncing on this grappling slam. Smoke wave. Oh, unfortunately, he tried to do what he could there, but he does get that fourth place placement, which is not too bad, all things considered. Now we are looking at how Shy are going to rotate. It's going to be a left-hand zone now for that cross-country.
Yeah, down to 3 squads. Everyone at full power, though. We see 29 full gold armor, double soul, TP, and armor soul. We see Aiden looking for the grapple slam. They're not quite coming through. Yeazer, I think, able to shift out of that. But the Shy not looking bad as well. But they are in a pinch position here. Symeri, nuke is down. They're going to get forced right into 3LP.
Yep, and the portal comes out just as a potential defensive measure from Sprocaine. And they do have another escape option. I believe Sprocaine does have another portal to be used. And I think 29 have recognized that that portal can be used in that kind of manner. So they are going kind of guarding the top hand side as well, just in case a rotation comes out that way. But they do have the north side they can potentially just walk through to kind of avoid, I guess they have to kind of be the sandwich filling if they do choose that rotation. Instead, they're going around the left because 29 have already rotated prematurely. I would argue they're kind of not keeping up the pressure just temporarily.
I love watching how the different top squads play final circle on cross country. It's so different every time, and I literally don't think there's a winning strategy. Every team kind of plays it differently, and it often kind of happens in a weirdly organic manner. But we see right here 29 basically playing gatekeeper. They know 3LP and Shy are poking each other. They're trying to hold position as they move in. The Shy knows this. They find space to the south. They want this kind of, like you said, Symeri, earlier, always kind of lurking, want to find their way over to the abyss, play E-plat around these rings, something like that. Yeah. And 29 knows it. Look, Cat Girl lurking. 29 really wants to hold this shift into this next phase of the circle.
Yep, and it's almost like that scene from The Matrix where, Neo's getting all of those scenarios dialed into his brain. If you're playing as Saros, you need to make sure you've got those portals ready, And if you know about that portal play, you've got to predict all of these sort of weird, obscure angles that you would never otherwise consider. And, 29 have installed that correctly into their brains, so they're already looking down here. I guess, as you mentioned before, it could be a portal as well, or Yasa could, TP through the wall here, for example. So, that is always going to be an opportunity for the teams to, to kind of rotate through. Shy are already doing this now. They've kind of done it early. 3LP are kind of lurking around the right-hand side, just waiting to guarantee that Shy don't go north side. And 3LP rotating through. They are in the middle of this sandwich now.
That two-way tunnel a little risky there. I think they were just... I think thought they were a little ahead of it, but they put themselves right in the middle. They kind of find their own space back to the right here, but they're getting pinched a little bit. Shy working their way up.
Live this one slam count. Oh, it's not enough. Aiden gets down. The epic round, is it enough? Oh, I think 3LP are going to get... Oh, another spike as well. I'm pretty sure 3LP are going to get down here. Shroom is last alive. I don't think he has anything left in the tank. Let's see if he has enough money even for a crown. 2.6k. Oh, I don't know if does he have money trees? No, he doesn't. He has no way to acquire more money. And now they're sending it with the avalanche onto Shy now. Punch coming in from Hachi, doing a nice chunk of damage. Oh my god, it's 1 HP. Can he heal this one? The portal as well, just to try and get the snipe on him. Can they get the snipe is the question. And the Broof is now blocking everything perfectly. He's got barely any shield left. Punches to zone. The grappling doesn't connect either. And 1 minute 58 on Shroom. He did actually find a crown. Let's see if he can get a sneaky pick here. We've seen him do it in scrims before. The boombox is now placed, providing an extra bit of insurance to make sure that no one dies on the side of Shy now. And 29 are now fighting for their life as a two-man. And the most wanted gets picked up there. Ori flicking through the shot there. Punch from Hachi.
Oh my god.
Oh, and unfortunately
Hachi
now...
these punches, bro.
Yep, and he gets knocked away by Yasa. Ori's now trying to fight for his life. Oh, can he get it? Oh, luckily he doesn't get it.
Wow.
1 minute 30. Dude. It would have been an insane steal if Shroom got that one. But unfortunately, it doesn't
Shy
get it
is just playing this too clean though, bro.
Yeah, man. Very, very methodical play. They had that zone and they had that rotational ability. Is he going to give himself to the heart? No, he does not. We'll see how he's going to dance around this one. Shroom is one of those ever-evasive players on the Zeth, but unfortunately, it's not enough. Man. The punch seals the deal there, and Shy are taking a game 3.
Hachi does not miss these punches, bro. We saw so many good punches come through, and a couple where it's like Hachi goes for the punch while they're flying backward. Both Sprocaine and Yaser just drill him with the long range. Like, it actually looks so brutal. Like, playing into that comp, if you get caught in a Hachi punch, you're just gone. And
Yeah.
they actually played that beautifully. Like, we saw them playing exactly to their win con that you called out in like game one, where they love playing edge of the circle, leveraging their range to kind of just put so much oppressive poke damage out and then follow up on the kills once that damage has stuck. And right there, it works out perfectly for them with that last shift. They go to the south, they find that angle through the forge, and at the same time, 3LP thought they were maybe had an opportunity to like make their way through that two-way and find position on the other side of the circle. But I think they thought that the Shy hadn't quite rotated through the forge yet, because when they went through that two-way tunnel, they essentially put themselves directly in between, you know, those two teams looking, and basically from there, 3LP on the back foot trying to recover, and they almost were able to, but the Shy, you know, just kind of too much damage pressure and really never kind of letting up the hunt once they had advantage there. And that's like another really big thing that I think a lot of inexperienced teams like can drop the ball on, where once you have that tempo advantage in that last fight, you really got to just pedal to the metal, finish, and not give anyone a fraction of breathing room to find a crown, find an angle, find a res. You know, you really just, like, once you have that, you know, kind of like momentum on your side at the end there, follow through, and the Shy do it beautifully. So GG's.
Yeah, and it's almost kind of you know, kind of premeditated almost in a way. Like, well, as you mentioned, you know, they took that kind of risky two-way, 3LP did, and they kind of instantly sandwiched themselves between two teams. I'm wondering if they could have taken like a walking approach or something else, because, you know, they kind of just threw away all the cards they had. You know, I don't know. It was kind of maybe a throw call, I would argue. Which you did correctly call there. As soon as it happened.
It's like, it's tough because it's like you know, they were kind of lurking, and they knew that everyone knew they were there, right? So like both other teams kind of had intel that 3LP was like top right, and I think they hadn't thought that the Shy had moved so far bottom left. Like, I think they thought the Shy was still in the forge, because if they were still in the forge and hadn't kind of crossed that wall yet, then I think it would have been a good two-way, and they could have found their way to the bottom left and kind of held that. But basically, like, I think literally like maybe 10 seconds too late, you know, where if they had done it just a little bit sooner. But that's like why cross country is so fun to watch, because it's literally just margins, like seconds a lot of the time in these decisions. And the storm shifts so fast and the circle moves so far, especially when you compare it to how normal final circles play out, that, you know, cross country macro strategy is like a strategy all its own, basically.
Yeah, exactly. We're just having a bit of a break because I know that it's going to be you know, very intense happenings, you know, with all these teams, you know. So having a bit of a breather.
Okay,
is
I'm gonna grab.
necessary.
Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna grab water just so I'm ready when we ship it, and I'll be right back.
All good, all good. And we are going to be slowly approaching to. Oh, Tom is still waiting. Okay. Just waiting for Orlando's, but it does give Zikrik a good opportunity to get a drink there. Yo, Submash. Zikrik's the caster, man. He's been in the scene for a very, very long time, so he's like, and he's fucking goated as well, so. He's probably casted some of our tourneys, Mash, back in the day, maybe, that we didn't even know about. Also, Mash, I don't think I'll be able to play too much today. I'm going to be catching up with my IRL friend, but tomorrow we can maybe play some games, maybe. No worries then. Good stuff then, Mash. And thankfully, I've not dropped any frames this whole like stream, so I'm very, very thankful, because I was having internet issues not too long ago. So we're all good. Oof. And unfortunately, where I'm living right now, the sun is like setting and it's like beaming through my window. So in the daytimes, it's kind of chill and cold, and then it just warms up slowly. It's not the best sometimes, especially when it's this hot. All right, let me have a quick flick up and make sure everyone is ready. I think we're all good. Boom, there we go. We're into game 4 now.
Choose wisely. Ready to cause a little mayhem? You are the drop leader.
Yeah, Mash. I'm taking your spot, man. XD. Okay, are there any comp switch-ups is the question. I don't think so. Neither on the Shrike, actually. I think he was playing that before, to be honest. That guy can like flex to any like DPS in the whole game, and he's gonna pick it up in a matter of like 2 games or something like that. We did see him practicing that in the scrim blocks as well, so it's nice to see it actually being used in the comp setting though. And we are already looking at Shy taking Molten there. Pop taking Immo, maybe grabbing those armors early. SB looking for maybe a train rotate, or they're just going to go to Iron. Typically their standard drop rotation. And aside from that, I think most teams are going to play the safe angle. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's 3 teams going towards Cold Fang. Maybe one is going to go Skyrats instead. It's AUR, NTU, and 29. They get the top side of Cold Fang for the moment. AUR bottom side. And NTU are going to probably rotate to Skyrats Insta. And we're seeing a potential engagement here between BBB and to the right of that VZO. And no one has bought yet. Level 3s. Nice knock away. Pretty chill for the moment. I think we might see TRF do like a late CAD rotate or grid rotate for the armors. And yeah, we're looking at it's a very slow game actually, which is very good to see. But that pressure will slowly start to accumulate. The tempo will start, Let's see if anyone has bought yet any good pickups. We're just seeing the armors, obviously, from the vault there. Yui finds NTU, so have a quick look at 29. So we know that was on Cold Fang, and the fight I don't think it's stopped here. We've seen that they just got the gold chest as well. Neum at 1 HP, so it looks like Ash is most likely going to be last alive. And he can probably get a scat. Oh, I don't know why he can run out res actually, because we see AUR on the full south side of Skyrats, 3 OP, and maybe considering this after they've taken their own respective vaults, which have just opened. So we need to see what's going to happen there very shortly. No, they decide to just go right for Scab, which is probably the correct play. And just farm that one up, because it's going to be free. Revel's got Rewinder as well, so that was one of the day 1 bosses, if I'm not mistaken there. And we're seeing VZO rotate all the way to a CAD, and Nice is there. He should be able to get out of this one scot-free. Go back to his team on grid. And then we're going to see about 3 or 4 teams rotate their way into the circle here. Ash is getting that res off in the middle of the desert for now. And Shy have just done the scans, so they're going to know where all the teams are positioned roughly, so they can kind of, as I mentioned before, get that like mental map, kind of screenshotted in their head to kind of predict or, or get like a rough location of where teams are and how they can play those next couple of circles potentially, or at least the next circle at the very least. You know, you can't go for outdated info for too long.
Enemy Oracle online.
Seeing TRF with the similar kind of idea here. And that's one of the things, right? On the top-hand side of the map, there's not really any scans. The first scan I think you notice in this kind of top top half of the map almost is Cobra. So these teams don't necessarily have like any way to acquire information, but the benefit they do have is they have a higher chance of getting Prophet's Potion, so they can predict the next zones. So it's one of those weird, maybe design philosophies that they've tried to incorporate here, but we're seeing a potential bush camp on 29. Does get found, Fluffy gets down here, so the blink is instantly donated to AUR. AUR need to mega split if they can. Sebi's going to the left-hand side, Greninja going south. So 29 with that NA strat, they're popping it off there very cleanly, and there's a multitude of fights going on. Looks like Revel got down there too, if I'm not mistaken. Just having a look at the other teams. We're seeing Specialist on Synoid. You are likely to get this res off for free, and you know, 29, you know, that KP on the blink, very important one to grab. Let's look elsewhere. Is anything else crazy going on for the moment? Not too much. Seeing a bond cap here. 29. Oh no! So they actually chased them to the desert here, and 29 fully forced them off. Just Sebi last alive now. And he's maybe just reconsidering like a 360 maybe for a box res, because always going for train res actually. No, it's going to be bullet train res. Fair enough. And we're seeing VZO and BBB here having a potential engagement. Abyssal Breaker sent out. Not too much else for the moment. Oh, nice pull back onto Tom. Slammed into the wall by Kalangi. And now Tom is now less than half HP. Rally comes out as well for a bit of extra reinforcement. Sinnoh finds Lingo, so FBI are down one. FBI find their own though. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Just have a look up on the full north side. And they do put nice not displacement charge, kind of delays that wisp res there. Oh, but the displacement, not displacement, the vortex charm. Kazaro is about seconds from being res. There we go, is back in the game now. Theo tries a predictive hook there, but does not connect. And, we'll see if Jaiden can make it out of this one. He is level 7. As is Sinnoh, Kalangi now kills BZO Clerney. And takes that 2 there. BBB. Oh my god. BZO are fully out of the game, but the fight is not stopping. Kalangi sending it with the Lambo. Big damage onto a Death Break there. And the Fuse Lock coming out. Nearly killing one there. And he can hide behind the shop there for a bit of extra, you know, structural support to prevent him from taking that Abyssal Breaker damage. And SB are now trying to fight against this one. Bullion is now trying to do what he can here. The punch actually takes him out though. The day 2 mob reset, we get a bit of a server lag there, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's what caused him to die. And Debrek is not too far away from having a tree combo with the axe. Oh, nice damage there with the bomb. Shin has to now run away from that res that Kalanki is trying to get or stick. Bomb does not connect as well. That 6%er. Oh, but he does stick the Lambo. Nice knock away, buying Kalanki a bit more time here. The grappling does not connect. Beast Lord center gets Kalanki, nice knock away, but I don't think he's got anything left in the tank. And unfortunately, it's just 2 members of BBB left. I think they can res in Prisma potentially, but 3OP are like lurking on the full south side, just checking, making sure no one is creeping in. And we are seeing FBI, I think, is also just res, so we know that one of them was downed. They are back as a 4-3 man now.
I'm welcome back, my friend. Sorry about the delay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's only day 1, so not too much action. One team did die, unfortunately. But you know, we know that the action is going to continue to amplify as these days continue. Then we approach that crazy end game.
Oh, and some bullet trains action. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I mean, what's your favorite Storm Shift? If you know,
dude. I mean, like, I will say that, like, there's very few that are as fun to cast as bullet trains. Magical already has the claim on bullet trains being his favorite.
Yeah,
so I don't want to copy Magical. He has the train whistle. I'll say, for mine, I know a lot of players hate it, but I legitimately love watching cross country because of what we were just talking about last game.
Yeah. The so much tacticality and macro involved, and mind games, things like that.
And how it's like it's actually significantly different than like every other Storm Shift with the way you have to play it.
Yeah, 100%. We're seeing a few slots from Shin. Is anyone going to die? Fire narrowly dodges the train there. It looks like 2 members of FBI made their way out of the kind of the train line for the moment, and F5 is going to have to try and find a way to reunite with his team, which he can.
I don't know how do they live there, bro. That was such a like decisive looking engage for Stormbreaker. Somehow FBI recovers and all make it out of that alive, but just like barely. But
yep, that was a very slippery. Escape there. They did luckily manage to make it out. The 2-A's coming out from Aiden looking for a hook opportunity. Does manage to get 20. The hook back through the tech. Unfortunately,
That was sick.
Yeah, and he saved there, so...
It almost like wasn't enough time. And
Oh, and Ackling actually sends it secondarily. No, Nice is half HP now. We'll see if another two-way setup now. Hopefully he's going to make it out of this one. And after all those shenanigans, both teams make it out of that one. It looks like an NTU.
I love the two-way tunnel grab back. There's literally not enough time for the animation to finish.
Right,
exactly.
Like,
pull him all the way back.
Literally cancel Sebi. Okay, luckily makes it out of that one. Oh, we get some the last second. Rebel is now aggroed, but he did take out AUR, and they are 11th place there. And that Wisp Res is going to happen on Matrix at the same time. Blink on Rebel
Here's
as
one
well.
of the 5 Infinity Stones for Kingpin.
Right. We're seeing it. SB take the soul as well. They got that early level 10 against their FBI. We're going to hope that FBI can make it out this one. The Fuselaar comes out doing a mega trigger damage. The punch as well. Abyssal Breaker by Gecko.
Yeah.
And the two-way actually gets cancelled at the last second. Shield broken. We'll see if I'm not mistaken, it's Jai Dame. Yeah, can make it out of this one. It's going to get full sent here. Oh, the last second, it's not enough.
Wow.
Unfortunately, FBI are at 10th place, but the fire's not stopping. Oh, Pop want a piece of the pie, but we'll see if they can do anything about this one. They're going to continue chasing. Train is narrowly avoided. Yeah,
so on the second attempt there, Stormbreakers gets it through. Like, actually a really nice engage. And it's so when a team plays well around like Shiv, and I think Shin being probably one of the best Shivs at doing this, like aggressive entry with the Shiv, like if your team is playing around that, and I think Stormbreaker is probably one of the best teams at doing that, can just put so much damage out with the Fuselaar. Again, Aiden, bro, the two-way grab!
Oh, he's put it on a showcase there, but narrowly avoids the slam, and Spider Bro returns his own dunk there, which narrowly misses too. And hopefully, no, there's no other teams in proximity. We do see the pink one on the top left-hand side, maybe looking down. They see some audio cues, but they're having their own fight, in fact. It looks like TRF and SB are having a mini dance here at the moment. A couple of auto exchanges, but not too much else for the moment. It looks like they've made it out. And Depp Brecker's at half HP, kind of split from the team. He's actually bottom left. Maybe he was just doing a bit of information acquisition, trying to see what's going on the bottom side before they kind of make any deep engage there. And there's potentially 2 fights going on between TRF and SB. Shin has to Fuselaar early. The shield's not been broken. He has to dagger back at the last second. Depp Brecker's now kind of split from the team. We've got to hope that SB can make it out of this one because the LPO are now looking to collapse in the sandwich. Gecko, 1 HP. The shield is not enough. And Gecko is down now. And now Shin is trying to run himself into LPO. Just make it past them temporarily. But how long can he dance against this one is the question. Dagger back at the last second. Uses the spike shot as well. Is it enough? He's actually dancing like Michael Jackson. Bro. He's taking the boots from him. Unfortunately gets a sandwich by the hands of TRF and can't get out of this one. And they're trying to res atomics there. The hook does not connect. I think Rebel should have probably been in this position and then try and get the wisp back, but they do not get
that was the action by Shin there, bro. It's just stepping left, stepping right, duck dive, dip dive, and dodge. Able to dodge. But a huge three-way fight happening down here. Into you under a lot of pressure, but Spider Brawl is going crazy. He's 1v3ing 3 up. He takes out 2 members. Just gonna be Acklings left.
And we're gonna see if he can dance around this one. He's trying to get Shroom back up. I don't think he can, to be honest. BBB are now looking for something here. And as you mentioned, Spider Ball just went crazy mode there, taking out 2. And we've got to hope that 3OP managed to get the way to, to find a res opportunity, because the nearest res is heavily contested, and the other one is like far left side. I guess he can go for the one middle or go for Crown, but you're right in the center of the map there almost. It's going to be a risky proposition to take there. We'll see what he decides in the end. Obviously, there's the one's full south side as well, which he could probably stick potentially. But we'll see if the prying eyes of BBB will be alerted to it or not.
And it looks like off the back of all that, Stormbreakers was able to find some space and recover, keep their XP soul, so they're still going to be looking very strong. We see Yacer taking the warp with the wings into a shift through those walls, trying to just find some space away from 29. Going to be the last member left for the Shy. Got to be careful, though, because TRF is right here on the right. I don't think Tredsy has intel. 29 maybe thinks he kept going. Yacer just going to hang out on the bush here. Yep. Try to just survive a couple minutes longer, but not a ton of options. Look, that TRF fire right to his south actually has almost nowhere to go. Maybe a train angle here.
That might be the case, but we are in night 4, so I believe the protect. Well, I don't think there isn't a protected barrier on the bullet trains, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
so
it's too late.
Yeah, you can't even do anything, unfortunately. The Rebel's now trying to fight for his life here. The slam does connect at the last second, providing him with a bit of extra time to live. And he might win this engage against Knights, but it's not enough, unfortunately. And 2 members of LPO die in quick succession here. Yasser's now, hoping and biding his time, hoping that the bush check doesn't happen from Blackrock here. We'll see if that is the case or not. It looks like TRF are not paying attention to this at the moment, and I'm sure Baruf also saw him here on the left hand side, but maybe the goldfish memory started to kick in and he just forgot that he was there, or they didn't have vision. We'll see which one was the case. You know, I'll probably hear from Baruf shortly after these games finish what the case was. And now we've seen the bonus connect against BBB. We'll see if Shin Sensei with the Fusillade and Pop try a two-way to get Bullion down, and Kalangi go for it, last alive. We'll see if he can dance around in the abyss against this one. He does his Fusillade for a bit of extra insurance to make sure that no one can be in close proximity to him, but Kazara's now sending it with the dash back onto him, and what he needs is a couple of autos to seal the deal. The snowballs come out as well, and the Samuel provides an extra bit of space there, and I'm not sure it's going to get turned into a snowman or spike there. We'll see. Vortex Charm narrowly misses there as well, dagger backwards. And he's now running in the center of the team against all of these other members. 3LP.
These ships, dude. These ships are hard to kill, apparently.
Oh my god, they're ever evasive. He's dancing between 4 or 5 teams.
Godfrey's doing a great job living here. I don't know how he's still alive, actually.
Oh my god,
actually,
we'll see.
BBB is kind of just playing with a lot of heart, man. They're always fighting. Anytime we look at BBB, they're always scrapping, even at numbers disadvantage. Somehow still in it. Coming up this fight in North, grab coming through for LPL. They are going to get a pick there. Instantly take out Niza. All of a sudden, TRF on the back foot. They do have that double Blinkstone rolling on Blackrock and Treadsy, so certainly do not want to go down and let these drop. 3LP sees the power angle. Aiden's in with the two-way.
Yep, he tries it, and we did see that most want to pick up, as you just mentioned, 1 minute 50, and TRF are going to probably get forced out from this one. You know, old Bomber members having a face-off here, and now always even faced up with a difficult situation to try and dance between these myriad of teams, and TRF get that member back with that last auto, killing that crown there, and the fight's never stopping. There's like 2 or 3 fights happening quick succession here.
Treadsy!
Oh my god, we need to see what happens. Can Shroom dance out his way out of this one? I'm not sure if he can. It's not enough. Oh my god, that most wanted pickup.
The red frogs just play that so beautifully. Get the snipe onto the crown, get Niza back, and just like just hold their ground. Like teams on all sides. Like I think these other 2 teams on the right distracted with each other. Yeah. NTU and Stormbreakers fighting. TRF in from the north now.
We need to see if Ash can make it his way out of this one. The Rain of Arrows gives him such a small amount of space to play in, and Shinsa sends it in with no Fusillade, doing nothing really. Debrek is now just like assessing the situation, see if he can get a wisp finish, which he does. Yas has now just moved to another bush very, very quickly. SB did not manage to catch that one, surprisingly, amidst the chaos there created by themselves.
Yes, we're actually doing so good on the bush play. Does have that ghillie suit, so that was actually a ghillie bush that he was using.
You're very correct there. I didn't catch that one. Yeah, very good.
Kind of just lurking here.
Yeah, and
Stormbreakers find last member LPL, so Atomic's down to 6 here pretty quickly. Aiden looking for another two-way out, gonna go right into TRF. Back in the arms with the train.
Oh, I hope he's got grappling. Yes, he does have grappling. It does provide him with an extra bit of space, and he's kind of out of escape mechanisms. You know, he does have the 2 dashes, probably off cooldown as well, to be fair, but he's just playing on this small bush that he has left for now. And he's probably maybe looking for a crown pickup or something along those lines. Treadsy picks up Yasa, so Shy get out in 6th place. He does eventually get found. That ghillie suit was not enough of a cover there for him to, escape. And the 2-way comes out. We'll see if TRF can continue to chase Spider Brawl here. Last alive with 1 minute left. And Theo is finally checking that bush, and it already seems like Aiden has escorted himself out of those bushes. We need to have a quick check on where he is right now. He's going full north side. He's managed to, I think, box for a Shroom, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
Very
nice
pick up there. And he may be able to get Acklinks. I'm not sure I can't remember where Acklinks died, though. We'll see what happens very shortly.
Yeah, it looks like Spider Brawl just trying to play this Abyss angle, look for dunks, bait someone across to try to play for that. Really, Kingpin, Jin, Brawl, it's really your best angle if you're really the only member left. It looks like Theo's looking for the engage there here over the top. Spider Brawl looking to dash out, kite back over to that Abyss angle. Yep. Is going to kind of wait for it. Actually playing it really intelligently here. Has 20 seconds left. Is probably going to be able to proc this for no team up. We saw Spider Brawl earlier in this game. Almost 3v1. 3LP, so if they can outlast, get the crown proc here, maybe we'll have another chance at vengeance. Aiden did get Shroom back though, and 3LP still kind of lurking to the north here.
Oh, and he did get spiked at that last second, but we know that brawls are typically ever evasive. 2 seconds left. Hope he can get it off. He does have the rewinder as well, should he need it. He just get the full team back up, but he's in between 3 other teams now. And Ash is now, I think, last alive, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, he did make it out. I think he rewinded. Yeah, he did rewind back up north side. Did slammed, uses his ulti to dodge it. 1 minute 55. Is Aiden last alive again? I think that might be the case. Let's have a quick look. Yes, he is. So Shroom, they've overexerted his potential there. And now Aiden is now trying to dance up north side, just making his way, grapple to the right hand side. 1 minute 45. The chase is not stopping there, and Pop actually get their 3rd member back from that crown, and 3LP get out in 4th place. And it looks like the action might be continuing here, but nice punch by Detbrek. We'll see if there's enough autos to cause like a full engagement here. But considering this, we're kind of in that Mexican standoff territory, we'll see what happens. Never mind, it looks like Blackrock is sending it in on Gecko. Gecko less than half HP, not too much shield left. The Avalanche comes in to provide a bit of space, and Shin Fuselage with a defensive dagger back up north side. And it looks like they do make it out of
really
that
nice.
one.
Yeah, like really nice heads up play there by Stormbreakers. They see the pinch coming in. They just all just casually walk up north there, kind of remove themselves from the situation. Theo almost getting grabbed there by the train. I like TRF just keeping up the pressure. They have advantage here. They have double blinkstone. They have gold armor, red armor, blue armor. They have the eye. Like they basically have kind of everything in their favor here. These other teams like not looking too shabby, but not quite the same level of power. We do have XP Soul on Stormbreakers with double gold, so you know, if there was a team to kind of contest them in the 3v3, going to be them. We see a couple exotics as well, Fate Rewinder, as well as Mega Avalanche on Gecko. So this is actually going to be a pretty even kind of 3v3v3 here as we close in on the train tracks for Bullet Train. Symeri, let's go.
Yeah, and I also think as well, like as you mentioned, that red power, the two-way, those are going to be like the ways that SB can make their way in, because and the same for TRF. They have found a small pocket underneath actually, but they also have the two-way to like go around. For example, maybe jump on pop. As you said, the armors are not looking too the best. You know, they're probably looking the worst out of the three teams. You know, overall sort of thing. So we'll see. I want to see how the rotation here is going to be very, very critical for these remaining teams. And we're going to hope that like there's no like surprise blink engage or something along those lines. Hopefully Blackrock is not tempted too much.
Kind of in a rough spot here. They're kind of like forcing their way in from the north, but Pop has the angle on the right. They are going to be pinched. They don't really have a spot to go where they're not pinched here, with both these teams kind of holding the sides. We see them throw their fire out. They think Blackrock's isolated Shin, trying to just pump damage, force him off. So they do kind of force Blackrock off of that northern flank, claim north side of the circle here. Actually really well played from Stormbreakers there to kind of claim their space.
Yeah, exactly, because I think they didn't want to be in the middle of that sandwich. It would have been really bad there. And we're seeing most teams, with almost like a pate transfer, they get very, very close to this train, but just not enough to actually get killed here. But I think on this next circle, potentially, does any team have air blast is the good question, or I guess grappling. They could maybe grief themselves. And,
Nyza has air blast.
Oh, he does. You're correct. There we go. So
let's go.
If he's not doing any sort of defensive play and he's actually looking for a cheeky kill, he can maybe get one there on the train. So.
This next shift is going to be tough for Stormbreakers. They're basically have to do what they did just before, again, with a smaller circle, more tracks, and more bullet trains coming through. And I think they're going to have to... Their best bet is trying to find an angle onto someone before they have to do that. So we see them kind of eye and Pop here. If they could maybe crash into the north side of Pop, force Pop south into TRF, I think that's probably the best play. They might be looking for it here.
Oh, need to see what happens now. I'm just wondering if the red nuke is going to be utilized or not, because it would provide them with a potential mini amount of space, or they've got a pad play maybe, or the two-way is going to come out. The two-way does come out. They go south side.
Nice, it's huge.
Yep, Kazaro's nearly getting caught out. Half HP. The nuke comes out, as I mentioned before, and Kazaro gets hooked back there by Theo. So he is in a safe small pocket there, and Detbrek is now trying to force TRF in a really bad position. It looks like TRF on the downs here. Nice punch by Detbrek. We'll see if the damage can be continued to be followed up by SB. Detbrek is now chunking them when he can. I wonder if it's Avalanche and that train is coming through. Oh my god, it's looking very, very close here. Detbrek on half HP or less. Fuselage coming up from Shin. And on the damage, is it enough? Nicely blocked there at the last second by Gecko. So Synoid is inadvertently protecting Detbrek with that shield. Pop have now found themselves on the left side. Two-way back onto the right-hand side. And SBA on the bottom side of train. When's the next train coming is the question. It's not coming in about maybe 5 or 6 seconds. We'll see if anyone gets caught out here as it's about to arrive. Let's see if that's the case. Shin. Okay, he's the typical suspect. One spike comes in. Oh no. Synoid, can he dance around this one? Nice vortex charm, but is it enough? Oh, he can't even dash back it up. And it's just Kazara last alive. Blackrock with the most wanted pickup. 1 minute 55. It's going to try and take that Kazara. Maybe an unlucky spike here. And SB are just going to bide their time patiently. We'll see if the Avalanche comes in with any connect. Next train, when's it coming in? About another 5 seconds. Kazara living with a smidgen of health here. Blackrock, he dies as well now. And it's just 20.
Wow,
the train's coming now. Hopefully no one dies. The punch as well. And SB actually take game 4. Nice one.
Stormbreakers play that so well, bro. Pop tries to pinch them on the south. So first, Stormbreaker's just beautiful two-way tunnel to find themselves in a good position in that next shift after it was looking pretty sketch for them. And then they get pinched by Pop and somehow able to just play it so well, kind of move their way a little bit to the north while staying together, keeping everyone up. Somewhere along the way, Nyza dies to World. So I'm not sure, like some kind of NPC projectile clips him while he's gliding or something like that. But I think that was whatever happened there. I didn't see exactly what happened. That's kind of the beginning of the downfall of the Red Frogs, because the Red Frogs also looking very strong in that situation. And I also really like the look from Pop. Pop sees these two powerhouse squads where and they had a really good position. Like, we're just going to force Stormbreakers into the arms of the Red Frogs and clean up. It was almost going to work, but Stormbreakers just play it too damn well, stick together, able to recover and put that damage out. And once both teams are on the back foot, down players, Stormbreakers clean it up. GG.
Yep, GG's there. Anyway, we are quickly heading into Game 5 now. It's Final Destination, this one, so we need to see where that Final Destination lands. And a good question for you, maybe you know this or not. Do you know, like, if Final Destination is completely random, or is it predetermined?
As far as I know, bro, it is just YOLO random.
Okay,
and I've seen it in the weirdest spots. I've seen it like literally so far away from land, like bottom right, like way off in the abyss. I've seen it like smack dab in the middle on heart. I don't think there's, because some of them do have, like the bullet train, for example, they have like some special coding added in for the circle closing in on the tracks and such.
Yeah.
But for final, I think final is literally like drop a pin on the map and that's where it's going.
Oh, okay, there we go. Because I was just thinking as well, like they probably like how teams can plan around it, because like for example in other games, like for example Apex, I believe the zones are predetermined and they maybe change per season, so like people can like they make a big map of all the circles and then people can memorize them, and then it's looking like it's going to be an endgame 33, for example, or whatever it is, and it allows them to kind of,
I do love, like, a lot of times you'll see players prioritizing certain powers based on where Final Destination is. Like, for example, if it's over Abyss, like everyone's grabbing E-plats, like finding their way to whatever like angle to play around. So I think we get like a little bit of a mini version of that. But it's kind of only when Final Destination is played, because when you don't really have any sense of where the circle is going to be going without final, like a Prophet's Potion maybe for one circle ahead, but that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think it's probably a healthier kind of design choice to make anyway, because otherwise it's kind of increasing that kind of information barrier that you're going to have to acquire as a new player, for example.
Yeah, that's true.
So now it's kind of, I would argue that it's better.
I think like one of the magical things about Supervive, like you especially see play out at this level, is the like sort of like creativity on the fly, and how like on a moment to moment are sort of adapting to the chaos of the BR. And I think a lot of things like that, like the kind of final circle having such RNG normally without like a special storm shift, like really do play into that, where it forces players to constantly be adapting to exactly how every game is playing out differently. And speaking of that, TRF and LPL in a level 1 duel. No one dropping on any creeps here, bro. I think just going for the stacks rush, just duking it out. Oh no, for the Fate Rewinder. Looking for this boss play here. I missed this.
Unfortunately, as a spectator, we cannot see that. So normally we can sometimes tell from the drop kind of drop patterns. But yeah, this duel is not it's not stopping here. I think LPL have finally given up for the moment. Rebel gets the early level 2 from the scan, and obviously here's a KP against a non-KP team here, but BlackRock will maybe block this hook that's probably going to be coming in from a Revel. Maybe just try to steal.
Does he look for the steal or for a kill?
I know, for the steal there.
He gets it.
Oh, it's not enough, unfortunately, but it's just because of that level 5/level 6. If you've got the steal, it would have been really nice there. But it looks like everyone else is just fighting for, trying to farm up here, play the slow game, the methodical game. It looks like Sinnoh did grab a scale here at the same time, which is really nice pickup on the Zeph there.
An enemy oracle is scanning.
We always love to see it. Stormbreakers on the quick level 6, going to run right into R as well. Already have fire on the high ground on a level 6 of their own. Greninja does have that gold armor with a couple of powers online, so R actually looking nice. Greninja knows it, looking over the top. Stormbreakers looking to turn to fight as well. They kind of want it here, so we might see a clean 3v3.
Oh, yep, and now in to see how they're going to fight over this, for example, if they want to get the heal up. But no, they decide against it, because it would have been a nicer fight with all these walls for a Ghost to get that nade off. But And even Greninja was trying to send it in, but Greninja actually does play Felix quite a lot. But I think now they're just trying something, just trying something just for the sake of trying, I guess, with different comps. So I believe.
I like this. I like this Felix Ghost Oath. I think that I like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
I think that could. I haven't actually seen that one necessarily in action, but I like the idea.
Oh, and Ash is on very low HP here. In mana coils, Shin has done a big chunk of damage. Nice punch there. Spider Brawl in that mini corner. Gecko only needs just one hammer to seal the deal. Unfortunately, Spider Brawl just make his way away. It's gone vegan mode for a small amount of time. Just dashes to the left-hand side. Can he get out of this one? Oh, unfortunately gets down. Numa, 1 HP. Can he make it out of this one? I don't think so. The Heart Piercer is not going to connect doing anything because the shield blocks it. The dagger comes in. Surely Shin, one more auto. Oh, there we go. The hammer exchange, and Numa takes it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Enemy Oracle
Tough situation for Newman there. I think Team Up was able to get one member out somewhere, so they are still going to be at least alive. For now, we see 29 making their way up from a Cold Fang. Looks like maybe a free Cold Fang here coming out, looking pretty good.
Yep. Really good to get all of that money because we know that Cold Fang, from those chests, you can get so much money from it. And Ash is now considering his res options here in this small kind of column. And we'll see what he can do there.
Kind of in a weird spot, like not a ton of beacons. Like the only beacon nearby kind of was a bunch of people around it. He could maybe look to just go like Imhotep bow and eat some storm damage, and the boat's going to circle back around Immo too, so that would be like probably the safest. But he did see Stry to the north, so he probably thinks that's sketch too, so probably just going to save a little time. The rough thing about like waiting this early for a res is like every second, I guess you're good if you're level 6, but as soon as day 2 hits, like every second you're not resing, you're losing, just tempo, getting further and further behind. So
exactly.
Hopefully he's able to find something soon, because it's just kind of chilling over there.
Yeah, you kind of have almost that, because of the way the level cap works, apart from certain extenuating circumstances like a red book or something, that you're going to be hard pressed to, you can kind of get back into the game sort of thing between each day, because of the level cap.
Yeah, there's definitely like a bit of that. But teams that are just steamrolling can really stay ahead of that still. Like, if you're already a level 2 or ahead and then you're carrying that in the next day, you're getting more kills through. Like, those are the squads where if you're on one of these poverty runs and then you run into that squad, when you're getting into like top 6, top 5, like that's when the game all of a sudden becomes really hard.
Yeah. I remember when I first started to learn this game, it was a lot of information to digest. I'm hoping that they can maybe adjust how the information is presented to the player. For example, if you're trying to gauge a team's power level, these red powers, because they're indicated in red, maybe give some sort of a quick visual indication as to a team's power. But then you've got to look at numbers, armors, all of the powers as well. Each of the team's powers, that's 6 little nibs that you've got to also account for before you can kind of fully aggregate the total power level of a team. So maybe they look to adjust that, because I remember as a new player, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of information to digest. And then when I was seeing Greninja,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So he just had a massive shield proc there, and it was a spike now onto 3 OP. What were you going to say? Sorry there.
Basically, just that I agree, and I will say I think my biggest feedback since day 1, even before launch, was like, bros, we need a better tutorial. This tutorial is balls. We need such a better tutorial. So I'm really, really hoping that kind of finds its way into 1.0, a much better sort of, and not just like a singular tutorial, like tutorials throughout the whole way to kind of guide you in one layer of information at a time, right? Because you're very right, there are many layers of information in this game. But yeah, hopefully somewhere all through the lines of that tutorial, they kind of give some sort of nameplate UI description, because once you're kind of getting into any level of competitive Supervive, it's really so important to digest the information from the nameplate that you were just talking about, right?
Exactly,
be able to glance someone, be able to see, okay, Atomics is level 9, he has blue armor, he has money tree, he has 2 blue items, and being able to just kind of glance that and process that, instantly, it really makes a difference in knowing where not just your power, but your team's total power is at versus that person and all the people on their team, and then the third party team coming in while you're fighting that team. Like, there's just so many the mental stack is just insane, bro.
Yeah, if you compared it to another game, let's say So for example, League, like, because obviously there's only like less players in the game, and the builds are typically kind of consistent. If you're in tune with the meta, you kind of know what builds people are typically going to go, and they're not going to divert that build. But in this game, it's like, in 1 second someone can have an E-plat, and then next second they can have a red nuke, and it's like, whoa, that's a big surge in power,
Yeah, for real. And powers are like, you don't really have powers in League. You have some active items you can do some cool stuff with, but powers they're literally like new abilities. You add to your hero kit on the fly, and like you say, you can just drop one and pick a new one up just like that. So you can just change your hunter kit in an instant on the fly, and that's sort of the creative stuff we were talking about earlier, that like really when you get into the depths of the chaos of a battle royale, that's like what really separates the top players.
Yeah, exactly. And we're seeing a potential big fight here. The pad comes out. Lingo half HP. The Fury doing mega damage here. We're seeing if Lingo can heal this one up. He's healing up. Jaden getting a Abyssal Breaker here.
Tom.
He gets downed. Oh my god, the chunkage there. And we need to see if Lingo and Fire can dance around this one. We see a tree combo in the hands of Fire. Gecko also finds Matrix at the same time. I may quickly flick over to that one. Looks like SB has found 2 members here. Let's have a quick flick over and see what is happening. We know that these bosses have spawned. Oh, and I think that was a Fate Rewinder or something along those lines. I'm not sure how he escaped that the slam there from Revel. Maybe I missed that one.
I don't know what it looked like he was about to dunk him. And I don't know.
And it just
was it Shin? Did he dagger back?
Oh, it was dagger. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Okay,
and the boss is on very low HP here. We see he's going to get that last hit, the ever important one. And it looks like SB have taken it at the last second, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it AUR? I actually missed that one.
I think SB had XP and R just got Fortress.
Oh, AUR. Okay, thank you for the clarification there. There's so much, as I mentioned before, sometimes there's so much information to
dude, casting is the same way, bro. There's so many things you're trying to process that it's so easy to just lose track of everything.
Yeah, because there's like 6 things happening simultaneously, and sometimes like as I'm
dude, I'll watch back my cast sometimes, and it's like something will happen, and I'll like, when I watch back the cast, I just didn't see it at all, and then I watch it again. I'm like, how did I not see that? And there's just so many things happening on the screen.
Exactly.
You just can't process it all sometimes.
Like, I've come to the conclusion that you just kind of need to talk about that one thing that you're actually like intently looking at, and then maybe if you do catch the other thing that's happening, like it's almost like each eye needs to be separated like left and right of the screen. So,
you need like.
You need to be able to somehow separately digest
like
two fights.
Yeah,
real. But I'm not sure if that's going to be a possibility anytime soon, as we're only just mere humans. But Newman's not getting caught out, and BBB find him. So, and these guys are just chilling in the bush, just waiting, seeing. We'll see if Kalangi checks these bushes or not. He's just dancing around them, and 29 are in close proximity now. We've seen the blink and the gliders as well. Oh, Ash gets found out. Are they going to check this other bush? No, they don't. Oh my god. Oh, it's a close one.
No, team up just committed there. I love it. Spider Brawl actually in so many situations where he's the last one left keeping his team in it. Just sticks on the bush play there. 3LP, we saw Aiden with the delicate disguise on the Kingpin. One of the stones, always really scary there. Actually, are looking pretty strong here. 2 golds. Gonna be able to lock in this boombox as well as the grapple on Fluffy Fish. So and that Fortress secured. If R can find, actually, if there was ever a time for Fortress to shine, it is Final Destination. So I think this is actually a great soul pickup for R in this specific game. Yep,
and then we are looking at a day 4 mob reset. So, the last kind of free bit of XP that you can grab. The hook comes in from Aiden with no connect, and I'm not sure if the XP is going to be that pivotal for any changes, but Greninja's actually sending it in with a 2-way. Massive fight putting in Abyssal Breaker as well. And now I think it's, I don't wonder if Greninja gets a spike, in fact. Never mind, Acklinks gets downed. And we know that, Felix has that really high, like, DPS tick rate, so he's gonna typically find people off guard. People can't feather as well as they typically would do against the Felix here.
Yeah, so hard to feather around the box.
And we're seeing Yasa taking down Orlando's at the same time, so Shive got 1 pick there. Looks like Shroom gets down now as well, so you all were able to chase that one down really nicely there. And there's a mega fight going on the right hand side. Who's it? Fire Tom Kick. Is Tom last alive? He is. So Bizarro.
Oh, he's last.
No, please. Oh no, unfortunately, Bizarro are routed 11th place there. And
BBB is always scrapping. There's never a time where we pan to BBB where they're not just like duking it out with everyone around them, but are trying to stay alive here, use that Fortress Soul, but they're going to run into LPL. Atomic's going to live. Sebi able to get the knock, trying to turn it into a 1v2 against Rebel and Matrix, but Stormbreakers is here. Shin pushing down from the north. Sebi, can they do it? Able to get out. Now Rebel's going to be last member left for LPL.
Oh my god.
Are trying to keep the dream alive. We might get a 1v1 here, Symeri.
Oh my god, it's going to be like a Colosseum-esque battle in this water. But oh no, he actually decided against it. But Rebel thought it was safe, and 29 just pounced on him. And LPR are out 10th place in that scenario. So it looks like Sebi did make the right call there just to kind of escape in that place. And he's just going to be playing for placement there, or maybe looking for some sort of crown and some sort of catching someone out. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, R was looking so strong. I would love to see them be able to recover with a res here after not too much time, be able to actually position a round final and use that Fortress Soul to their advantage. It's always ends up being so epic when teams do that. Aiden looking for the cheeky res to the north here. Is going to get found out, caught in the spike by Sprocaine.
Oh, and he's got nowhere else to escape. He tries a hook at the last second, but Debrek might be just looking for this scrap leftovers, and he does find Aiden.
Damn.
So he does get some nice pickups there with the Delicate as well. So 3OP just could not fully recuperate there. And as I mentioned before, Sprocaine on the Saros, so you can always find those weird, obscure entry points to just get a sneaky pick there, which did cause Aiden to get caught off guard and get spiked, which did lead to
and
death.
BBB get one through on FBI. So FBI was constantly scrapping over here this whole game as well. BBB get the final one through there, down to just 7 squads. It's crazy to me how close these lobbies are in EU, bro, because you have just like some of these like players like Aiden, like Tom Kick, like going out at like 10th, 9th, 8th. You're like, just like off a name value, like especially just me who've been around for a while, like these players are so good, but it just goes to show how hard EU is scaling. Like I feel like the EU player base is all getting so freaking good, and it's making like, I don't know, I've just really been enjoying watching competitive EU anytime I've had the chance, because the like level of skill is just like inches apart, and it's not like anyone's getting worse. It's like all these players are leveling up to the Aiden level, to the Tom Kick level, and we're getting just these like literal cinema, bro. It's awesome.
Yeah, it seems like these fights just never stop between these teams. Maybe just the characteristic of how EU plays overall. And we see Shin with the defensive dagger, and I think Fuse Sword's already popped, and Boombox. So SB have used a lot of utility here. Now Shy looking for like easy pickings as those cooldowns are down. We'll see if they want to, or maybe they're just forcing them out territorially here, which seems to be the case. I'm surprised actually they didn't want to fully collapse on that. I guess because AWR were still on the left hand side, that they didn't want to just give up everything to just go for the chase there. We're seeing a tree prison combo, or just tree combo, sorry. No connection there. Bullion 1 HP. Can he get out of this one? TRF get a pick there. Treadsy getting one. BBB are now just playing on that kind of big box there. One on my reset picked up. Baru finds Numa as well at the same time. Full south side. Let's have a quick look at what's going on down there. Oh, a big Abyssal Breaker, but the two-way actually saves him narrowly. Shin making it out with 1 HP. Oh my god.
Shin is so good at just being hyper annoying on this character, dude. It's so hard to actually bring this man down on the Shiv. He's not only great at entry, but really good at just getting... Wait, oh, Sebi gets the squad wipe! Because he was last member left. Wait.
Yeah, he was.
Are they all back?
No, they're all down, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? It was
BBB.
No,
top left. No, they're alive.
Oh yeah, they are. So, and then that's crazy.
So they have their Fortress Soul still? Yeah, they have it. Okay, so R is back in it. Fortress Soul play, still alive. All they have to do is make their way over to the swamp here, start posting up walls, and it's GG. Let's go.
Oh my god. And they're pretty powerful as well. We're seeing a Nizer with the Rewinder. We're seeing Scale on Treadsy. Just having a quick glance at powers. And just before that, I remember that fight on the left-hand side, as you were mentioning before, like Shin being so slippery, kind of danced past Fluffy Fish there. Didn't even check the first bush, but then checked all the others. It's one pattern we typically see by certain players in the EU that just don't check bushes on that bridge. And Sebi's now having a potential engagement here against Hachi. Can escape from this one. The 2-way comes out at the last second. Hachi last alive, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, tries to punch against Blackrock. But it is probably free pickings here for TRF.
Wow.
Shy going to be out here 6th place. The spike is actually donated to Treadsy, but another spike here.
No!
Oh my god, so many people dying in quick succession. And Fluffy's now having to make his way down south side. Who's left on the side of the AUR? Ninja is also still alive.
Such a nice pinch there, bro. They actually just decimate. Wow. And get the third one through. It's still 29 re-engages. TRF just on a roll here. They force the issue, push Shy into R, wipe Shy, and then shortly after, R is forced down, kill 2 members of them, or a single member. It looks like they're able to recover one, so R still in it to the top here, but the red frog's looking terrifying.
Yeah. Oh my god. And Shin is now maybe just window shopping, trying to see if he can get anything. Ninja picks up a most wanted, 1 minute 55 roughly for him. And 29 are now applying pressure onto TRF. They kind of splits. Oh, Blink Slam, Slug Wave,
wow.
Blackrock.
Nice.
He's getting demolished there. TRF are now just 2-man in the bush, kind of in the center of the circle for the moment. Oh, rotational opportunities, and Ash has
We
somehow
have-
danced
well,
around. How has he lived this long? Holy.
This is actually just so in the middle. Everyone is going to get caught here.
Oh,
Nowhere to go
unfortunately.
for Ash, so is finally going to get taken out there at 5th. But nice extra, placement. Just playing it safe there, trying to live as long as possible. Now we are down to 4 here as violence breaks out. Stormbreaker's pushing up to the north as the last member of the Red Frogs gets gripped in by Catgirl Cafe, taken out.
Oh my god, the fight's not stopping. Deathbreaker setting it in for a bit of a defensive measure to help Gecko breathe there for a second. Sorry, yeah, it does in fact. And the boombox gets dropped down. Sebi, the nade does not connect, unfortunately. And oh my god, 29 somehow managed to make it out of that one relatively unscathed. They're just repairing armors real quick, and AWR just kind of looking to see what they can grab there opportunity-wise, seeing if there's anything they can do. Otherwise, they're just going to be waiting patiently. They have a two-way, so they can maybe find a way in somehow. Oh, but the fight is starting here between SB. Oh, Shin 1 HP, Ori.
Yeah, they want to look. Yeah. Oh, I was like, R wants to look to cross here and find a little intel, start posting up walls on the north side. Yeah, they are. So even with 30 seconds left on the crown, they can buy space. We see walls going up. This is their angle. This is Fortress Soul winning, baby. Can R do it? Prove to us that it is Superior Soul, at least in one case.
Oh, please. 20 seconds left. Oh, the Blink Slam narrowly misses. Greninja. Oh, my God. And the skull. Oh, my God. Sebi gets down there. Used both of his powers nearly perfectly there. 10 seconds left. He's trying to do two-way dance. Ultin as well. Can he get a kill? 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Surely he kills Ori or someone. He gets the whole team back. I can't believe this. SB. Deathbreaker with the punch with no connection. Abyssal Breaker doing mega damage onto SB. The boombox is finally dropped down now. I cannot believe. Oh my God, the way that this happened. We need to see now. The dance is continuing. It's not stopping. Oh my God, he ults out Greninja back onto his team now. And
Dude, what was
we
that
still have 3 teams left. AUR with barely any armors left. And the big send now onto 29. Forces them into the zone. Broof gets down here.
Gets Broof.
Oh, he tries to res with his own hammer, but it's not enough. Or maybe he had orb, I'm not too sure. Or he's trying to dance around. Here. Yep, into the wall on the left-hand side. Trying to play for placement as long as he can. Just go back. And the Fusilight gets popped up. Abyssal Breaker as well. Oh my God, we need to see the ult. Oh my God. Oh, 1 HP! Oh, Deborah gets 1 reset, which might be pivotal here, the extra bit of HP. And the punch sends him into zone! Oh my God, SB!
No!
Oh my fucking days, man. Oh.
That Brack does it to him, bro.
Oh my
The double punch
days.
into the storm, into the wall, ends the Fortress Soul dream. R is taken out. And again, Stormbreaker's claim of victory. GG.
Holy. I'm just how AOR got that most wanted, and the two-way, how we just danced between them. Oh my God, and then he ulted out and then actually got it to pop in time. Oh my God, and then SB with the...
That was just actual cinema. Beautiful, beautiful final circle there, boys. Well played.
Yeah, I think that was the best final fight we've actually seen in a long time. That was so tense. Oh my God. Just need to...
These are all, I mean, every final has been so good, actually. Like, these are all so, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, these EU matches are so freaking close. There's certainly good teams in NA, but there's certainly a much bigger gap between the top and the bottom of NA in the competitive kind of realm. But the difference between the top and the bottom in EU is like much kind of smaller, where even the worst teams are able to find team fights over the top teams in the right situations, like, quite often. And none of these teams are free to scrap. That's like the other thing I feel like is another big difference that I've noticed between EU and NA is less teams in EU get ARA'd these days.
Yeah,
a lot of teams in NA will literally, just off of nameplates, like, back off of like a TLD or now like a Moonlit Battlegrounds. They'll see those names in those nameplates, and it's like a lot of times Moonlit Battlegrounds, like, especially over the last the first month of trios, they were literally just R-ing like so hard. Like, people would just give them the map for free, and they would just come into final circle, top 3 squads with every single armor, power, soul on the map and just crush. And you don't get, I feel like, even with the top names in EU, the Aidens, the Tom Kicks, the guys that are just the GOATs that have been around forever, like, this last game is a perfect example. You see, no one is afraid to fight them. They're constantly getting contested. And, it's situations where, they're going out at 9th, 8th, and you get, these finals with, a squad like R, who I know these players. I know these players are really good. I've definitely seen them around. I haven't seen them personally playing together much because I've been kind of out of the loop for the last few weeks, but like to see a squad like that come and put, you know, such a crazy good performance up against someone like Stormbreakers, who I've been seeing Stormbreakers just sauce for like months now, you know, starting to get looking really solid with this, you know, like these players that have been kind of training, scrimming, practicing together for like months and months. Yeah, I don't know. I'll end my monologue there, but it just like is so fun to watch EU.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that at some point we'll get like a big tourney that comes out. Oh, the points have just been posted for Game 5. So SB are at the top with a 20-point lead with 99 points. Followed secondly by 29 with 79 points. Then it's Shy with 76 points. So there's only a 3-point gap between second and third. And there's a 1-point gap between Shy and TRF. So TRF has 75 points. Then 3LP is another 1-point difference. So 3LP have 74 points. Then BZO is kind of a 19-point gap there. 55 points, AUR 39, FBI 35, POP 33, NTU 30, BBB 30, and LPL 30. So
what? Like, look at how, that's what I'm talking about. Look at how close the bottom is. What the world? You just said 30 like 8 times.
Yeah. It's the standard deviation is like slowly narrowing, you know, between these teams. You know, I think we used to see a much wider gap, and it has actually narrowed. You are correct, at least for this tourney, especially. And
that's how, like, we were talking about it earlier, like the way the group stages played out for the last EU Abyssal like a month ago or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like the third. I was amazed at how close the group lobbies were too, because that's 36 teams, right? So you have, you know, you would think that out of 36 teams there would be some clear favorites, but it, like every single, you know, even group stage game was really close, and I feel like that's why. You know, with the top 4 of each of those group stage teams going to the finals, I feel like that's why the last EU Abyssal was like such a crazy banger final, because you literally just had, you know, top, like the cream of the crop just carving their way through the battlefield for the last day in the groups, and then all them clashing in the finals. So I feel like, you know, like we're getting like a mini version of that here, but
yeah.
It's like, dude, something else I want to call out though, that me and Magical and Relic were talking about it on Relic's podcast that we recorded after the last Abyssal Cup.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that the EU players, you guys like talk with each other way more like openly than like other regions. I feel like for example, like anytime you guys have a tournament, like after this, like everyone's going to be like hanging out in Discord on like Sprocaine stream, like shooting the shit, like talking about what happened and like sharing strategies, like arguing about what they think is best, like in a constructive way generally, right? But like NA doesn't do that, bro. NA is like very close to the vest. Like when these tournaments end, like these players like talk and they're friends, but they don't, you know, sit there and argue for 3 hours about the proper bishop build. You know, like
I feel like that's almost disappointing to hear, because I feel like that I thought that would be kind of assumed. We're in like a, you know, we're in open beta. The game's not even fully released yet, and you know, at least from the E perspective, there's a lot of I guess mentors who are already like really well established, like Aiden or Treddy, for example. I remember, you know, when I was starting off, I spoke to Treddy for a small period of time about like, you know, some game strategies and things of that nature. We're already seeing a big fight here potentially between Rebel. Is he gonna get out of this one? We'll see. Oh, we just get down. It's a 1-for-1 exchange, in fact. Oh, Atomic's 1 HP gets down too.
Wow.
Well, this might be an early upset. We'll see if Matrix can make it out of there. But yeah, I'm hoping that you know, because it's still closed, well, open beta, like, you know, the game's not released yet, that, you know, some secret source can be shared, and, you know, we can see like the teams kind of you know, becoming better, or you know, sharing their strats, sharing the tech. Because I think it makes the game more healthy, because, you know, the play base at the moment is kind of small, you know.
I think like that's literally the point I'm trying to make, is I can see that play out. Oh, huge double grenade by Shroom, putting 29 such on the back foot. Cat Girl's 1. It's just gonna be the Ari left.
No, there's no way he gets slapped.
Oh, 3LP.
29 after last place. What the
bro?
Oh my god. Oh.
Just like that, bro. But
I mean, that just took us right out of that conversation. I was not expecting that for the last game. It's a big surprise there. People may just sending it. I'm not sure. Nice spike there by the brawl there. We see he gets the that's enough. LP Rebels down again. So they did manage to get everyone up there for a short period of time, but they are going to have to look for another res opportunity.
No team up loves that start though. They're just kind of farming kills, got their gold armors. TRF looking onto Stormbreakers here. Stormbreakers trying to lock in this kill on the creep, but they are just going to bail on it, take the warp through the wall. TRF going to be able to steal that for themselves. TRF actually had level disadvantage there. Stormbreakers don't want the fight, though.
Yep, and as I'm so used to watching scrims, I mentioned this in the qualifiers, you know, people might get into bad habits of not specifically focusing on anyone with high points, but, you know, the points have been officially posted, so, you know, just as I was saying, you should, like, capture that mental picture of who the top teams are or where teams are dropping. You should also, you know, make sure that you know which teams are at the top, because if you take them out of the game, you know that you have a higher chance of getting that first place. And, you know, we know that there's a prize pool involved for this one, so... You know, people do want to be getting that.
It's like just a great call out, and I think like something that's easy to lose awareness of as like a spectator in these kind of like events, because it's like you assume it's just like a game of Supervive happening, but as soon as you get into a tournament format where money is on the line and points get accumulated across games, it really does, especially towards the last couple of games, right? The back end of the tournament really does start to shift how you're wanting to play and your strategy. And you know, there's money on the line. There's not only pride, but there's also a lot of times like a prize pool that, you know, is going to make these decisions like very important. And like you say, a situation we just saw from the Red Frogs looking at the flank of Stormbreakers there, it's like they very much know Stormbreakers is at the top of the board. If we, even though we're at level disadvantage here, our maybe only hope of winning is putting them behind a little bit. And so can we find an angle, you know, and I think we're going to see more and more of that, you know, especially as we move into the final game, because you know, the points matter, and so you have the sort of macro strategy of the tournament points playing in on top of the normal crazy Supervive VR, you know, chaos that's already happening.
Exactly, you put it so perfectly. You know, I couldn't say it any better. At the same time, we're seeing Red GA on Aiden here, Abyssal Eye as well. You know, that's going to be instrumental in this last game, as you mentioned. You know. If 3LP are, you know, they're not too far, they could potentially win this still if they get a mega kill point game, but having that eye just gives them that extra knowledge, and that they can, you know, they can maybe start accumulating kills relatively soon in a safe manner, or in a calculated manner, shall I say. We'll see what happens, you know, in the coming minutes.
Yeah, we see a couple teams posturing up here, LPL and the Red Frogs with BBB over on the right, all teams that love to scrap, so we're very likely going to see some violence break out. Bullion looking.
We'll see what's going to happen. The Rain of Arrows come out, providing TRF with a bit of breathing room, and they do go north side, away from LPL, out of the sandwich, and we do see Fang on the cards in about 30 seconds. That's going to be able to be picked up there. And at the same time, just on the heart, we're seeing SB and Visado. The tree combo does connect as well. Abyssal Breaker, mega damage, and we'll need to see if Shin can heal this one up. Gecko is also low on HP too, and he's already used his shield bash, so we'll see how much Visado can continue this chase here. That tree combo might be off cooldown in about 3 or 4 seconds here. We'll see if he does get another one off.
Dude, it takes so much to run down Shin, man. It's so hard to kill. Anytime you see someone trying to kill Shin, he's just like so slippery on the shiv. Able to get away there, put VZO in a spot where they're chasing the other two members, but LPL is lurking on the north of VZO. So if VZO's not careful here, they're going to use all their cooldowns and find themselves in a pinch position. Clarity gets caught.
Oh, that's really bad. And now I think Tom probably needs to bounce here if he can. Orlando's made to fight for his life as well. No, they both actually reunite. I'm surprised LPL are not continuing the chase on any specific character. In fact, they're looking for Gecko. We've seen if the hook comes out, the win rings come out first though, and Gecko is slowly evading while he can. Oh, nice hammer spike, buying him a bit more breathing room. Akalinks takes down Sprocaine to Shire out. Oh no! So their chances of winning here are just completely gone down to 0. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, they were 76 points, and yeah, that's
wow, that's a huge kind of like upset, because they were looking very strong so far.
Oh man, and we are getting a few calls out here in my chat saying that you know, teams need to kill SB, as we were mentioning not too long ago. Oh, the grappling slam, the grappling disconnect, stopping that back from Orlando's, and it looks like Orlando's is going to get killed there. So 3LP have managed to you know, Venus flytrap at least 1 kill at the moment. I think
with the shy out, it's going to be like 3LP really the ones that can contest Stormbreakers here, right? Like I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, there were 74
where the
points
were at.
The top team, SB with 99. So it would have to be the case that I guess SB have a really bad game and 3LP have a mega one. So you know, we're currently writing history at the moment to see if that will be the case. Atomic's 1 HP. That ult is narrowly a dodge there, but it doesn't matter because the ult is hit subsequently, and Niza finds 1 kill as well. So LPL on the down is in a big way.
It's always the danger of chasing here. LPL, you know, we saw them kind of potentially over chasing that VZO fight, and anytime you do that, it did just like exactly like VZO was doing and LPL chase them down, can really expose your flank to other people seeing that noise queue on the map, seeing the violence coming in for the third, the fourth party, and into you, Numa going down there as R find themselves into the action here.
Yeah,
no team up has been looking strong though. Nothing like too crazy on the kill side of things, but always surviving, always kind of making heads up macro plays to stay in it, and Spider Brawl just always living on their brawl, so they are going to make their way out of that one just fine. VZO looks like they were able to recover a bit. We see Tom with the boombox there, and Stormbreakers as well, not getting punished. Plenty of space there on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, but we're seeing these kind of both these souls are spawning relatively close to each other as well. So we might see a lot of teams start to magnetize themselves towards the Underart region. Wanted to see what happens after a couple of hammer exchanges happen between AUR and TRF, but it looks like a third party from AUR. Nice stun there with the Abyssal Breaker as well. Oh, and Sebi gets taken down already. He comes in at the last second, so he is getting rezzed, but it does get stomped on. Greninja last alive now on the side of AUR. He gets stomped spiked the last second, and I don't think he's going to have any lifespan left. Unfortunately, gets downed, and TRF may be late to this third party unless Pop decide they want to actually engage this one. They should be looking to recover here. The Fang comes out with no connection, and Pop are making their way to the left-hand side. We need to see if TRF want to continue the chase here. Nice shield blocking the Abyssal Breaker there for the moment. Pop do make their way out. TRF decide to let the pressure off their gas for the moment.
That was a really nice fight by Pop. Just like a clean 3-3. Sinoid finds a nice kind of flank for the Abyssal Breaker, kind of pinches them all together as everyone follows up and just crushes them. So they come out with, that's what, like a fight that decisive is what you need when someone is lurking on the flank for the third party. They shut it down, get the kills through, able to recover in time to turn against the Red Frogs. They're still posturing up there as we see Into You posturing against BBB down here, kind of trading damage. BBB forced into the low ground and the lasers. Into You looking strong here.
Yeah. And that laser kind of potentially semi-griefed in there because it's like a RNG. Well, it's not really RNG, but the way that it kind of rotates around, they kind of had a bit of less space there to temporarily play on. And, they couldn't go right, for example, without having to risk getting spiked or having to glide over. It just makes it kind of awkward for them, and they just decide to go south side for the moment instead.
Machine's always an awkward spot to fight.
Yeah, right. It's so many hazards to play around. And we see LPL, as you mentioned, they did get one, well, they got everyone back, in fact, and SP are now playing on the train tracks through LPL, forcing them down. And we're going to hope they don't get sandwiched here. They do find a narrow pocket to go down the south side. Oh, one gets spiked, in fact. Ooh. Who is that? Don't tell me that Shin. Don't tell me that Shin. It is Shin. Oh my god, that's another one to add to his tally. Oh, Gecko gets knocked into that spike wall too. Rolandus finds another kill. Deathbreak last alive, and the Abyssal Breaker now, sorry, on the right hand side. The boombox is now dropped now. Rebel gets down. Atomics is last alive, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that is correct. And Deathbreak is now found. He has to ult north side through OP, having a nice game here. We'll see how far Deathbreak is forced into the zone. He even places Bond. Uh-oh.
This is what they need, though. If they go out here, it's going to be 9th place for Stormbreakers.
Yep, 3LP have that correct macro installed in their brain. They know what they do. Unfortunately, SPA get outed. BZO kill the last member. So now, first place is definitely up for grabs.
Yeah, and the Shy is still in it, because the Shy just got taken out like 1 or 2 places before,
exactly.
Right?
So 3LP.
It's like... Oh. Yeah, it's up to 3LP here. If they can put together a banger game, they can find themselves out front. They do have the tools to make it happen. They have grapple, they have armor soul. They are looking strong as we come down to the bottom right of the map. FBI in it with BBB, but Into You is on the north. BBB is pinched in a rough spot here. Looks like Godfrey out to the left. But the Shiv is just going to be caught, gets punched in the air, and so is going to get annihilated by Spider Brawl. And Numa gets taken out to the south at the same time.
Yep, and the Most Wanted is picked up just after that 1:55. It seems like TRF are playing the mega slow game. We're looking at day 4 mob resets, so any teams that are in proximity to mobs would like to grab them for that extra bit of XP. And we also see Icarus on the train if anyone wants to grab it. Any KPs? Are there any KPs left, in fact?
I wanted to call out in that crazy fight we were watching earlier. Revel got a grab onto someone from VZO, was about to slam him into the abyss. Tom Kick shifts across the abyss on the oath. Bright shields Revel out of his slam right at the last second to keep his teammate alive.
Oh, wow.
I was like, bro, that's a homie play right there.
Yeah. And that Abyssal Eye is just going to continue to pay infinite dividends here, because they just know where all these teams are. They can just play here. They know they can grab these mobs for free, completely free. So they're guaranteeing themselves that XP for that late game. But we just want to, I think the question is how much risk do they want to apply, you know, or pressure do they want to apply towards guaranteeing a kill? You know, I think they've already acquired a couple of kills, yeah, about 6 if I'm not mistaken here. And then BBB get out of there, 8th place, Abyssal Breaker sent from both sides, Kazara saying it with the ulti, taking out Aiden. Oh my god, this might be a big upset. Hopefully Akalinx doesn't die here. He tries to send out the trees to find himself a bit of extra space, which he does do, but Theo is hard on the chase here, gets the slant on Akalinx, and it's now Shroom last alive. He does have that red GA, but the boxes are kind of in the center of the map, and the zone is pulling to the bottom right hand side. So, oh, this is looking on the downers for 3OP. Jerry Dame also finds Orlando's at the same time.
Wait,
so, oh my god.
The Red Frogs, are the Red Frogs up there too in points? Are they still? They're at towards the top 2, aren't they?
Yeah, but they've only got 2 kill points, but they may be looking to change that right now against Pop. Pop doing it. Oh no, the lasers. Oh, Sinnoh gets downed here. And Theo is now kind of out of opportunities. The rain of arrows from both sides kind of forces him to the south side. And we're now looking at a res here. Shroom is just waiting patiently against Matrix. He may try like a 1v1 engagement potentially, or just going to let that res go through. We'll see if that's the case. He's sending it onto him. Gets knocked away at the last second. Oh, he's taking a big risk here. He's going to have to run now very, very hard if he wants to. Hopefully.
Dude, I love it though.
Yeah, because we know that you know, teams are playing that meta game, as we spoke about correctly, that 3OP is like, you know, potentially the team to kill, and TRF, you know, to kind of allow another team to potentially win. But they are going to have to get mega kill points. You know, every team is kind of going to have to get mega kill points. We'll see.
I love, like, dude, I love that look from Shroom there. Like that, like, especially on a Zeph, like just looking to aggro kill the crown res. Like that's like just sometimes you do what you got to do.
Yeah,
looking for it there, it doesn't come through. Able to find some space.
Yeah, he got the red GA.
He has a GA.
Yeah, so I say he got the red GA.
It's actually so huge.
They're back in the game. They found that perfect opportunity. I'm not sure if he popped scale and just quickly, like, you know.
That is beautiful.
Oh my god.
Actually beautiful.
A 20 dice to the world. Wait a second. What happened there? Oh no, there's no way. What happened? It's like a mega misplay on TRF. Wait, what?
No way.
Wait, what happened there?
Bro.
Wait.
They weren't ready for the shift because it's cross country again. They weren't ready for it.
I don't know. That's so weird. That's such a weird play to see from them. It's like the macro just completely stopped. The comm stopped or something. But oh my god, Spider Brawl. Oh, he almost hit the last second, stopping Shroom from getting the ult off. Shroom gets down here. They've lost the red GA now. Is it Akalinx last alive? It is. Oh no, it's a big upset again. Are there any rest opportunities? There's a crown topside. Does he have enough to buy his own crown? 2.6k. No, he doesn't. He does have money trees though, so he might need to wait for money trees. Oh no, there's impulse to the left again. We're seeing Pink and Purple, NTU and Pop having a potential mini face-off here. Pop have this small slither of space.
I can't believe, like, Red Frogs was, like, our last squad left, like, to contest at the top, and they just, like, tied the storm.
I don't know. You know, we have some people in my chat are speculating that they may have got TP'd, I think, maybe backwards.
Oh, okay.
Because we did see, I think, a green TP, I think, with the light green TP from LPL, maybe. I think
if they did, that's a huge TP.
Yeah, they may have just all 3 of them walked over it and elapsed. I'm just speculating there. Because that's the only two way that I saw.
That would be crazy, because that's just like a full squad wipe off of one button.
Yeah, I desperately want to watch their POV, because like typically their macro is like immaculate normally, so that's like a mega misplay or just unfortunate set of circumstances.
I wonder is there something where, because we already played a cross country game, I wonder if they weren't expecting cross country to be on again, or just hadn't considered the shift, or I don't know, something weird like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But definitely could have been a TP angle. I did not see what happened. If it was a TP play, that's crazy. Yeah,
maybe the fatigue is starting to set in. You know, it's a 6-game series, and you know, with this intensity, you know, I imagine you would start to feel a bit of fatigue.
Yeah, and if you for some reason just like didn't peak the storm shift, you're assuming it's not cross country because cross country already happened, and then all of a sudden the storm shifts 8 miles away, you're taking 1 billion storm damage, and you're like, wait, it's over.
Yeah, and we're seeing Akalinx just using the defensive measure here. Didn't use his money trees at all, and it looks like it might be the end for 3OP. Narrowly avoiding the oh my god, is he going to take both of them down? Overkill rounds, narrowly avoided. He's pushed into zone. Oh, a couple more autos. Oh, he buys himself with a bit more time. Heals up at the last second.
Dude.
Oh my god, that was very, very, very lucky, or like skillful, shall I say, from Akalinx to evade that play from FBI. But they're now portaling through. Akalinx has got a narrow bit of space to play in, but NT may pick this one up, trying to play for placement, 5th place. I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Fury sent. He's going to fan down back into FBI. Oh, spiked the last second. 3LP are out in 5th place. And I'm surprised he didn't use the money trees. Just wait for a second to get 3k and then buy a crown. I thought that would have been a play there, because there was no one around him for kind of a decent period of time. He only used it for kind of aggressive measures there, not forgetting that he could get money there. And at the same time, FBI, Giant Dame gets dunked there by Spider Brawl, and Pop looks for a hook there with no connection.
Was so close to pulling it off there though. Had the huge double money tree Triax stun into the storm there as they were coming out. But I think if there literally wasn't an Oath Shield there, he 2v1s.
Yeah.
I think the Oath Shield kind of shut down the mojo on that one.
Just quickly looking at kills, we've got 7 kills on VZO. NTU with, oh, they've got quite a few. Wait, 13.
Oh,
and
shit.
5, 7, 8 there. So
NTU having a game, holy.
Yeah. Wait, where are NTU in the leaderboard? Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
they're like way low down, unfortunately. But you know, if they were high points,
2-way, the 3 golds, like they're looking really strong here, actually.
Yep, and Pop have actually rotated their way downwards. We've seen the next circle kind of bottom right, so FBI especially are going to have to find some sort of a way into the circle here. They don't have a 2-way or anything of that nature. Oh, they didn't even decide to go for the red chest. I think they just want to play for zone as it slowly starts to creep down now.
Yeah, Pop in actually pretty decent spot here, kind of holding Abyss against, but now VZO is trying to guard this next shift against them. So again, we see cross country kind of macro coming into play here.
Oh,
looks like Sinoid trying to gain some intel, but they're going to go right into the arms of Tom Kick. Tom Kick kind of holding the edge of this Abyss angle, kind of stopping the shift in. And look, Pop and FBI playing for the southern path into the circle. They're going to run right into each other.
Oh, Kazara narrowly avoiding getting spiked here. Sinoid doing the rightful thing there, blocking Kazara, giving him a chance to breathe and you know, get the heals back in now. And we just need to look north side. I'm just checking the comps. Okay, we've seen Fury coming out from Numa. Tree combo. Oh, unfortunately, it goes the other way for some reason. I guess he altered it away. Numa did there. And the shock trap drone comes in. Oh, the Rain Barris too. Spider-Brawl taking a decent chunk of damage here. Tom trying to apply a bit of extra pressure. Obico runs coming out. Spider-Brawl sending it in. Boombox is now placed now for that defensive measure. And I'm surprised the charged LMB is not coming in from Tom there. He just lets his shield get damaged for no reason. He doesn't like knock away the enemies there. Oh, people getting caught out there. Big chunk of damage against VZO, but they do manage to heal it up.
NTU doing a great job, kind of just, you know, fending off pressure, holding their space. Like they've been kind of having a bit of a pop-off game. We've only panned to them, you know, like a few times, but they've been getting like kind of kill after kill throughout the course of this. Spider-Brawl shipping it in, gonna get caught for a second, but I think still has ulti, is gonna be able to get out just fine here. Pop does have that Vibe Soul, could come into play. We see VZO with the Armor Soul, but level advantage, armor advantage still on the side of no team up here.
Yep, and we've seen the zone pull to the right-hand side, top right again, in not too long, so we need to see like oh, there's a red chest there. Let's see what gets picked up here. Is anything important? Anything vital or crucial? What was it? I don't even see what it was.
I don't know.
Oh, it was replicated. There we go. So we're seeing another boombox now in the hands of VZO. Oh, the hook comes in. This can start everything off. Oh my god, that was the catalyst there for that fight. And it's not stopping there. Oh, we've seen FNT want to get a piece of the pie. They do manage to get fire, but I'm not sure if they can get out of this one. They've got no armors left. They need to go full north side. Oh, they do make it out of this one. So they actually get killed and get out. That is very nice and difficult to do, to be honest. I'm surprised there are not enough pressure supplied by other teams. And Lingo now 1 HP. He gets oh my god, he gets absolutely decimated. Jai Dame last alive. Whoa.
Everyone just smells blood like right when they go in there. Like all 3 teams go in, Pop just like wiggles their way out.
Right.
And then they're just totally fine to the north here. Now it's going to be Judamine, last player left for FBI here. Gets grappled back or bungeed back into the wall, but still able to shift away there. Now no team up, kind of having superior position on this next shift. You mentioned it coming to the top right here. Yep. They're going to be able to make their way. Wait, is that full Abyss out there?
It might be. Might be the case. I mean, there is.
They do have no team up has a fire already placed in that next circle, so gonna be the real. Wow.
Yeah, Tom just completely got in there. Jai Dame tried to ult on the top left hand side and try and rotate all the way around, but it just unfortunately wasn't enough. Theo tries to hook there with no connect. Free combo. Oh, we just get 1 stun. Oh, he gets a bit of auto damage too. It's not going to be enough, but it is actually going to force them out here. Kazaro might be dead here. He's got the hover maybe. Oh, gets dunked down. Oh, the stun as well, so 1-1 exchange. Oh man, and Most Wanted is instantly picked up from the shop there.
I think, okay, yeah, so VZO does have E-Plat too. I was going to say, might be a bit of a tricky spot. But yeah, both teams that don't have the fire do have E-plat. So NTU really need to not get forced off of this fire, or they're going to have literally nowhere to go. And these other teams really need to play on this E-plat cooldown. Syner's looking to force it.
Yep, oh, he gets a spike. Oh no, so just Ash last alive. I don't know what kind of opportunities he's got left. Just try a 2-way right at the last second. Dude. If you can proc it at the last moment, you can maybe force a pop. Oh, I'm not sure what he can do. There we go. Does the yoink at the last second. So just give himself a bit of solid ground to play on. Okay. Oh, gets spiked. So unfortunately, now we're in a 2v2 standoff right at the end. And it looks like Pop is still 2-man. I guess they don't have enough for Crown. Nope, they don't.
I really like the idea there from no team up. They were like way ahead of the play there with the fire already out into the storm for the next shift. But they were the only squads without an E-plat, and Pop played that well where they see, you know, they only have 2 members. Synoid kind of knows that their only play is to hold that fire, just ship it in, force them off of the Abyssal Breaker, and, you know, like force the Ashe into the arms of VZO. Now put it in a situation where VZO has to push into you, even though your numbers disadvantage. Like, you know, you kind of are holding, you know, space here, and the next shift is above you.
Yep, and it looks like a VZO, yeah, it's kind of just rotated around almost. And, that does give them the advantage for the next zone. And for some reason, the Crown is bugged here, unfortunately. We see it on the minimap, but it is actually not available unless I'm mistaken there. And now we need to see as these guys are just waiting patiently.
This standoff.
Yeah.
Just going to be looking at each other for a sec. Synoid looking to get the next E-plat out on the way up. We will see the shift coming through fairly soon here as VZO make their way up as well, throw their E-plat out, picked up the fire as well. So we are making our way at least over to a grind rail in the circle. Not going to be any ground, but is going to be a part of a grind rail passing through the north side.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. I was just quickly flicking up to see like how they're going to rotate in. It's going to be, they're going to have to rotate around this way. It looks like
that is the sketchiest circle I've ever seen. What is that? It's like in that whole pillar.
And I don't know how, like, I think VZO are going to find that solid ground first, which is going to make it very difficult for Pop to make it in, considering they are a 2-man as well. But is there a Crown? There is a Crown in this really awkward position. I'm not even sure how it can spawn there. And is that accessible? I know that these 2 pots are accessible.
That, bro?
Yeah, that's very weird. Yeah,
the circle and the Crown are so weird right there.
Yeah, these 2 pots are cosmetic. I'm not sure how far all of this, if all of this is cosmetic and you can walk through it, but it doesn't really matter because they're sending it through. The Fury comes through, and 1 hit does connect onto Theo, and they are just waiting for that E-plat, or just maybe, yeah, they've got a bit of a they found the circle that they can stay on. I think the E-plat, oh, it just come off cooldown. Abyssal Breaker sent in. I don't think it's going to be enough. Slam down from Theo, doesn't do anything. And Synergy is trying to do what he can. Unfortunately, it's not enough. And VZO take a game 6 here. And we're just going to wait for these scores to get counted up here.
Dude, that was such a funny, weird final. Like, what is this circle, bro?
Yeah.
And the Crown's like up in the like untouchable like terrain. Like, what in the world?
That was.
But in the end, VZO, you know, just play in the position, do it pretty much just like what you'd expect, and able to clean it up there, get the victory. So a dub is a dub in the end. They get it through. I think, you know, before those last 2, VZO was playing the final 3 very well before we had this last kind of weird shift. So got to give it to him, you know, playing off of that E-plat, and, you know, always like big respect teams, you know, kind of planning ahead, playing around E-plats. And I did, you know, like we mentioned, really like the look, the angle from no team up there, kind of head of the pack, throwing that early fire out into the abyss, but without an E-plat of their own, eventually do get forced off. And well played by everyone, dude. Some banger games. Thank you so much for having me, Symeri. It's been awesome casting.
Bro, you're an amazing caster, bro. I love listening to your insights in the game, and I'm glad that we align on like basically everything that we've spoken about over the course of these games. You know, we seem to be like-minded in a lot of ways there.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
you also, like, that was we had an experience where you were observing and you were doing some analysis with me and Magical in between games.
Yeah,
so that was maybe, it wasn't too long ago, maybe like 2 months ago, and that was like right when you had just started getting interested in casting. So you have certainly leveled up too, my friend, because that was
thank
amazing.
You very much. Yeah. I mean, you two guys are like the to me, like the pinnacle of casting and Supervive at the moment. So I look up to you guys.
Oh damn! I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot.
Yeah, man.
It's funny for me, dude, because it's kind of like I was basically in your shoes just in like November. I also don't really think of myself as like a super experienced caster because I just started casting scrims because no one was doing it.
Right.
and then it led to here. So,
Oh my god, I'm just
but
waiting for
yeah,
these
in
scores to pop in, and yeah,
oh yeah.
it's gonna probably be a while. We can keep chatting for a while. Sorry, what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that when it actually comes to like 1.0, like I think because we're already having like a lot of events. It's crazy to me, first of all, how many events happen with the size of the player base. Like everyone's just so passionate, and the community, like the amount that the community does for the game is just insane. But like I think when we get into the 1.0 launch, bro, like the casting angle is just gonna be so fun. I can't wait. I get kind of goosebumps like thinking about like casting with the people that like people like you, like A1 Twin, like Logic, of course, like Magical and Relic, but like a lot of the people that have been more just like getting into casting, and like me even, right, where it's like we love Supervive so much that it's inspired us to like want to shoutcast. Like I just am super excited to see how that plays out, like once there's a bigger player base and more tournaments and like more shit popping off.
Yeah, all the casters have like something unique to bring as well, like such a unique perspective from some people are from NA, some people from EU, so that gives their own perspective, and then just the way that they cast it, just inadvertently gives another like kind of angle as well. So all of these interactions we can have, like me and A1, or you and A1, and you and Magical, me and Magical, whatever, like there's so many opportunities. Tsunani as well is a great caster, and I believe there's a bunch of other
Tsunani also, Tsunani has also been killing it. That's another one I forgot to shout out. He's been like crazy leveling up over the last like 2 months.
For sure. And I think we have got the scores in. So it is SB winning with 101 points. And then just behind them, second place, 3LP got that second place, if I'm not mistaken. And Visa, though, actually got 88 points so in total. So they're third place.
Wow.
And then
that's actually close at the top, within like what, 12 or so.
Yeah. And the TRF ended up with 82 points. 29. Sorry, 20. The team 29 have 79 points. Shy with 76. Yeah. Sorry, it's a bit of a tongue twister. I'm like reading the number and thinking, is that the score? Or is that the name? But yeah. And then we've got the host of other teams behind. With not too much adjustment in numbers. But that's like the top 4 or 5 I think I mentioned there. Great stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Absolute pleasure to watch. And let's see, we'll be live again in like with 3 hours for squads NA stuff. So Supervive, let's go.
Interesting stuff, man. And I'm so thankful for you joining me here with these casts. It was just amazing. Really enjoyed all these the whole 10 games across the whole span of this day. Thanks to Izuna, Sprocaine, Mr. Ice-T for the funds for these top winners. And I think we've got Abyssal Cup in it. Is it like is it the end of this month, if I'm not mistaken? Maybe like 2 weeks away, or for EU.
I forget the date, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, either way, signups are available. So if any teams have not signed up, please go ahead and do that. And that's going to be me and Zikarik signing out here.
Hell yeah. GG's, everyone. W Supervive.
All right. Cheers, guys. Peace.
Peace.